Association, with its major sponsor Sports Cover, presents Australian Football's Championship of Victoria. In the blue trunks and white jumpers, captained by number 17 Jared Edwards and coached by Peter Knight, the WorkSafe Victorian Country Football League team. In the white trunks and navy blue jumpers with the big white V, captained by number 13 Brett Voss and coached by Dean Anderson, the Victorian Amateurs team. Will you all please stand and join our players and officials as we honour Australia with our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen.
So we're away in the middle. Chris managed to take us away with the call.
So the rucks went Adams, Hetter narrowly won the tup, but Edwards, the skipper of the VCFL, takes it. It was all wrapped up. Just a bit of spite early. Couple of little jabs there thrown, so it's the VAFA kicking to the Fitzroy Street end of the ground. Hetter wins the tap, no clear winner. Rucks go at it, Kirby in the middle, he gets a handball at. Geez, it's very fierce in the middle. Kirby can't pick it up, players falling everywhere. Hetter going through, wrapped up by his opposite number, Kirby, and will have a bounce.
Well, if it was amateur boxing in that first little skirmish, there would have been no points scored.
No points awarded, no punches in the right direction. So Kirby gets the tap down. Comes down to Adam Hunter, the vice-captain. He can't get it. No clear winner from that takeaway. Have another ball up.
Very, very skinny forward lines for both sides. Only 2 or 3 working inside opposite 50s.
So Hetter with the left hand guides it down to a teammate. McLaren there as well. He can't get it. Slips out the back. The VCFL rebounding off half-back. That's Rob Ferraro. Goes very wide. 2-on-1 situation. Amateurs had the numbers, but they forced the ball out of bounds. So I'll have a throw in. Outer wing. Minute played in this representative clash. No score as yet. The AFA Amateur Football League taking on the Victorian and Country Football League. Throw in on the outer wing. Numbers with the Victorian Country Football League. They can't get it out. Umpire certainly letting play go here. Hetter comes out with it, trying to crash the pack. Doesn't have any luck, and we'll have a ball up on centre wing.
What do you think of those new rules, Ken? Trying to let the play go. The umpire's not pulling it up as quick.
Oh, I think that's the right thing to do. Look, unless there's danger in the player being hurt, I would go along with that. That's the right way to go.
Just trying to let the game flow. And it's good to see that it's filtered down to the lower levels as well.
So third bounce in a row. We still haven't gone anywhere, and it looks like the umpire will have to come in for a fourth. He's going to. Neither team's really been inside 50 yet, but it's a stalemate to start off. We've only gone 2 minutes for Sky High Mount Dandenong in this first term. They're on the outer side of the ground, just on the edge of the square. Can they get a bit of a run away? It's been tapped clear of the pack, over towards the boundary. VAFA through hands, look to run it through, and Voss, the captain, a quick kick in forward on the left. Play is being held. No, umpire says play on. No, he's found a free kick, but it's going in the VCFL's direction, and they've decided to play on, and they're often racing to this near side of the ground through Clark. Takes on the chest, gets the hands off quickly, looking for a short pass, and it's bounced right near the boundary umpire's toes, which was out of bounds on the full.
there's certainly a fair amount of wind out there. That was a good indication from the kick there, because that moved a good 6 or 7 feet off the line, didn't it?
So Brown boots it with his left foot inside the 50, carried over the pack, and a mark's been taken by the VAFA. Again, the breeze might have got hold of that, and I think it's the captain, Voss, is it, who's taken the mark?
Yep.
Slipped in well. He started in the centre for the VAFA. Interesting those conditions, because the VCFL flew, couldn't get a hand on it, and Voss waiting down at the back for the chest mark. So a chance to get the first score on the board for the VAFA with the captain Brett Voss. Very deliberate approach. Goal umpire doesn't move. The first one's on the board. 3 minutes in for Sky High Mount Dandenong. The Amos lead 1 straight kick 6 on the cover-up canvas product scoreboard.
Well, it wasn't the best kick into the forward line, Ken. It probably only went 40 metres, but again, maybe the wind affecting the drop of the ball.
Well, I thought Voss was very smart in that action. And again, an experienced player, you expect it to come from an experienced player, but he read what was going on and was made sure he was in front of the pack regardless, and he only had to do a few steps to take it.
And the VCFL, their first turnover of the game, and they get hurt on the scoreboard.
So you feel Voss is going to be a key player. He's back in the middle. Rucks go at it, no clear winner. Kirby gets a quick kick down, but coming off half-back is Neville. He goes by hand. Up there finds Groves, who goes on the left boot forward, but it's not a good kick. And the mark is played to the VCFL. That's Joe McLaren out there.
He seems to be the spare man back, Joe McLaren, early for the VCFL.
Half-back flank. He goes to play on. The umpire calls him back. Find Luke Walker there with quite a nice centering kick. But the man in orange found him. Brought him back. So he goes short. He gets the ball back by hand. So McLaren goes across the ground. It's a very dangerous kick. Can't take the mark. Was Ben Cosgrove ducking back. Numbers with the amateurs. Brett Voss charging through. Advantage paid. He won a free kick. Umpires paid advantage. Comes out to Tony Brown. He crosses the 50. Sets sail for home in the goal square. Almost a mark. Comes out the back though to the Victorian Country Football League, and they clear the ball from the fence.
On the outer side of the ground, they find Hunter, vice captain from Dramana, who decides to take a bounce and run along the wing. Kicks a long driving kick, a great kick in the end. And a diving mark being taken out in front by Vic.
Yeah, they did, and that's probably the most sheltered side because of the tree, so that's where they'll be trying to attack from.
Coming board to Cook, a couple of hands off. Inside 50 for the first time to VCFL, and it's a great kick. On the lead and on the mark was Cook.
Very, very good kick at goal, I hear, Adam Cook from the Wodonga Raiders. A penetrating kick, and he keeps them nice and low, I've heard.
So he's going to have to kick it from about 50 metres from goal to the city end of the ground. Doesn't look too bad off the boot, swaying away to the left. And the wind took it in. It's just through 4-1 behind. The first score for the VCFL. They are just 1 behind. The VAFA 1 straight kick 6 for the cover-up campus product scoreboard.
So the amateurs bring it back in very quickly. Can't really get anything going. They go back to the goal square and find Heta. It goes across the ground to Matt Tawney. Goes on the right foot. Pulled as he kicked. Not a great kick. Leaves the work to do for McLaren. Does well to spoil Dave Clark. The numbers come out here with the Country League. They'll go forward. The left boot. It was a bit of a wobbly one. Running through his Tawney. Going very hard. Turning one way then the other was Neville, the former Box Hill player. Comes out on the wing here to McLaren. Goes with the left boot, just can't find a teammate there in Handley. Mopping up at the back there for the Country League is Joe McLaren, who's been prompted early. Dangerous looking handball. It does well. His teammate there, very patient. Mark taken by Smith. Goes by hand to O'Keefe, but he's messed it up. Going to have to go back in there and fix his own mistake. Can't do it. Numbers just running out for the Country League, and very well sharked there is Edwards, the skipper. Easy for Spot if you're here on the ground. He hasn't got a lot of hair on top of his head. Goes forward, half forward flank, comes down here to Nick, to Brad Miller, goes inside 50, no mark to the Country League. Numbers here with the amateurs, but they can't get a handle on it. Comes out here to the Country, great smother there in the middle. That was Brett Voss. He goes off the ground though, a little bit unorthodox, attack inside 50 for the Country League, but relieving mark taken by the amateurs.
By Wintle, who goes to the near side of the ground here, and a mark's been taken in front by Beaumont. Goes in board, shocking kick. In fact, couldn't have picked out the VCFL better. They go through hands through the centre. Have numbers, mucking around with it a little bit. Decide to go wide. But header back there has taken the mark.
Started off well, the header, the big fella's been in everything in this early part of the game.
The only thing was he couldn't kick up to the wing because his opponent was standing right in front of Tony Brown, so they're forced to switch the play.
So he went short to Jordan, who his turn has gone short to Beaumont, gets the hands off. and the VAFA will come outside their 50, but the kick wasn't on target. The VCFL lead back in the race. It's the big man, Campbell, does the 1-2, does well in the end, in the long sleeves of Buckland, gets it back to Cosgrove, very near the boundary line, and they've turned it over to the VAFA through Cooper. A bit of a messy Voss with a driving handball along the boundary line, but it's beaten Lowcock over it. Scrappy bit of play there. A lot of turnovers early, Ken.
Yes, and that handball there, very difficult one in that particular pocket because the wind was obviously going to blow it out of bounds right from the start. It had to almost go to the centre of the ground. In fact, almost not at right angles, but left towards the centre.
Thrown back in and no clear winner from the tap. Buckland perhaps could have got a free kick.
Perhaps.
For
he was sat on.
Push in the back. Yeah, no, he certainly did look like he deserved one.
VFA, that bloke.
He may well be. Quick kick out of the pack for the country. Comes to Campbell.
We call them real estate agents, the umpires in the bush.
And why is that, Dan?
I'll explain that a quarter time.
Okay, so Tawney goes wide across the ground. Finds a teammate who drives the ball inside 50 all the way. It's a goal. It's a terrific kick. Decide who it was. But the first goal, so the Amateurs' second goal, so on the cover-up canvas product scoreboard, they go to 2 straight goals, 12 to the Victorian Country Football League, 1 behind.
Well, it was good work, wasn't it, Ken? They moved the ball across the ground, used the wind, probably finished up being behind them when they kicked a goal from outside the 50-metre arc. Good shepherd on the line, and another good goal to the VAFA, who now lead by 11 points.
Graves it was that kicked the goal of mine from Campbell for 29. I think the interesting part of that was that they made a distinct effort to go across the other side of the ground to attack it.
So Header won the ruck, but it's the VCFL who've come away with it. They went back into defensive 50 and now go forward through O'Keefe. He has it in front of us on the wing. His players calling for it, finds a short pass inside. Had 2 to choose from, found a teammate and they're off and running through Miller. Miller to go inside 50, a poor kick, and has been chopped off by Fieldsen. It was really a kick that wasn't great. A short pass to McLaren.
That's why they're real estate agents, because there's no way that was 15.
To Phibbs, still inside defensive 50. Oh, they've spilt the mark, the Ammos. Going to have to work hard to get out here.
That's ball.
The umpires, you're going to call holding the ball. That was very lucky.
Did he trip over his own feet then? Because he took possession and then just fell over.
He spilled the mark and then got a little bit panicky. It was only 35 metres out from the VCFL goal. Very lucky to end up with this ball up. Can the Amateurs clear? Header gets the tap down. Players running on for the VCFL. No, the ball's bumbled clear and a quick kick to clear the pack for the VAFA.
Leading in the chase though is McLaren, the vice-captain for the country league. He's pursued by Neville. McLaren goes by hand to a teammate who goes inboard to Edwards. Number 17, it's about 75 or 80 metres out from goal.
Should switch it here.
Switches on, goes across the ground. Not a great kick though to his opposite number in Voss. McLaren from Marson.
That's ball.
Shrugs a couple of tackles. We couldn't shrug the third one, and that's holding the footy. So free kick goes to McFarlane. Sorry, big pardon, that was Turby, sorry, he's the other big bloke. Kirby goes long, and it's a mark. A great grab there.
Big Dan Leslie from North Albury, good mark.
So he's come a long, long way to feature in this afternoon's game.
It's about a 5-hour train ride, I think. 4.5 in the car.
So he'd be pretty keen to kick this first one, I think it's fair to say.
Mate, he would. He might have a bit of train lag. But there was a terrible turnover in the middle of the ground. It looked like it was going to rebound against them, the VCFL, but they held their nerve and they've got their first opportunity here.
So Leslie from about 45 metres out, ball just dropping short. I think it's a goal. Very muted response from the crowd, but it is. So the first goal from the Victorian Country Football League. So they go to 1-1-7, trail the VAFA 2 straight 12 on the cover-up canvas product scoreboard, and we've got 11.5 minutes in this opening term.
What happened there, Ken? Was there no one on the line for the VAFA? It looked like it went through at about knee height.
Yeah, well, I thought that too. I would say that they've misjudged the flight of the ball pretty badly, but somebody should have got a hand onto that.
You know, I think it was, it might have been Cameron McLaren who ducked his head from Marcellin. As soon as you duck your head, you're in trouble. And that's exactly what happened. That was the turnover. Back
in the middle of VCFL have come off the ball up well, get a pass inside 50, mark can't be taken, ball still in dispute on the ground, some tough tackling. The umpire will have to come in and ball it up. We've gone 12 minutes in this first term for Sky High Mount Dandenong. The VAFA have the lead, 12-7. Perhaps the wind favouring them in this first term though as well, as they're kicking to the Fitzroy Street end. They look to clear with a quick kick. It's gone very high in the air. Players trying to use their body on the ground, can't through Hunter. But he wins the ball anyway and gets hands off inside to McLaren. Goes further across the ground. Make sure they set it up well, and they've switched back to this near side. A good pass and the mark taken by Sullivan. Gets the hands off and then goes to Shepherd through Campbell. Almost a good mark. She is early in front, didn't quite get a play. Player slips to ground is Sullivan.
Advantage. No advantage umpire. Bring it back. Good decision.
He got taken high after Sullivan slipped. And the advantage was given to Campbell, big man, but he couldn't get through, so the free kicks come back to Sullivan. He'll send the VCFL inside 50 again. A low spearing pass is going to have too much carry on it. Wintle at the back will get hands towards the boundary line. Fieldsen gets it back to Wintle. They're mucking around with it a little bit. Through Phibbs. Need to get a kick soon. They're going to put each other under pressure. They've done well. A good string of hand passes with Tawney. Gives the don't argue, takes a bounce. He's on the wing. Oh, gives away a poor hand pass. Gave no chance to Brown. They somehow get possession. This is Simpson on the right. Shooting from goal. Fitzroy Street enter. It's another one. Tom Simpson from St Kevin's in the B grade gets his first on the board. The VAFA's third. They lead 3 straight, 18 to 117. Cover up Canvas products.
Well, interesting bit of play there, because there was a string of hand passes, and I swear blind that every third one was wrong. It's the extra one that you didn't want, but they got away with it.
Maybe in 1980, Ken. Although these days, and that's where it's good to see in the interleague, where they all think they've got good enough skills to attack, so they're going to use the handball. They handball that from half back to half forward, and they kick a goal. They've probably taken too many risks, but they got away with it, so no doubt they'll try it again.
So centre square infringement here. Goes to the Victorian Country Football League. Hands to McLaren. Goes with a spearing pass. Can't quite take the mark out on the leg of the country.
Irving.
Comes out to Irving. Goes long. And he's kicked it.
Well done.
So a terrific goal to Chris Irving with the long locks in the ponytail. So the very quick reply for the VCFL. They move to 2-1-13. Trail by 5 points. The VAFA 3 straight goals, 18. We've gone 14.5 minutes in this first quarter, thanks to Sky High, mate, down here.
You'd have to say VCFL are probably on top of the middle at the moment, aren't they, Ken?
Yes, I would think so. I think they're getting the ball out more cleanly out of the centre. But look, I think there's a sign there that to go straight down the ground from the centre is the go, isn't it?
So back in the middle. McFarlane and Header. McFarlane wins it down, but Header Rose gets hands off to Brown, who just kicks forward. But waiting back in defence is Buckland for the VCFL.
He wears long sleeves every week, Luke Buckland.
Doesn't like the chilly conditions.
It's like me. Probably got no guns. That's probably why. Certainly a great footballer though, Luke Buckland.
So they're looking to work it through half back, going from side to side, eventually make it to the outer side of the ground. Sticking along that wing, the kick is poor, player slipped over. And the VAFA have a chance to go forward from that turnover. It's a good kick inside 50. Umpire says play on, you weren't holding on. Leading back in the race, trying to do the 1-2. Numbers with the VCFL, very near the boundary line. Could have been too high. No, the umpire said you shrugged. And a kick's come from the pack. The player stuck his hands in the air. It was Handley. He wanted to claim it.
He was celebrating too. He was riding it home, that's for sure.
I think he was trying to put the goal umpire off.
Just through for the one behind. Their first miss.
Very, very lucky. Very, very lucky then, Miller. That kick came into the pocket and slipped over and took the slip catch in the end to take the mark right against the boundary line.
His namesake probably spent a little bit of time here training for the Melbourne Football Club, but not having the best of years. It's a terrible kick inside. Puts a heap of pressure on Guy Campbell. He does well though. Gets a hand off to a teammate who drives the ball out in the attacking wing, looking for Leslie. Had to come a long way from home. Goes for the quick handball to Irving. Kicked the last goal. He goes inside 50. And a mark to the Country League. They're looking to
Back
move
to
it quickly.
Irving.
Herdman goes across the ground, finds Irving. Oh, he almost played on.
And 50.
Now I think that's a very difficult decision because you can see it in his mind. He was thinking, will I play on or won't I? Took one step, decided not to, and the VAFA player, in many respects, did what his coach would have asked him to do and made sure he didn't easily allow him to play on, and he's been penalised.
You're allowed to stand on the mark and turn him around, but you're not allowed to grab him.
So Irving kicks his second for the term, and scores are now level. here at the Junction Oval. 3-1-19 apiece. We've gone 17 minutes in this opening quarter thanks to Sky High Mate Dandenong.
And I will admit that the umpires, when they do give those 50-metre penalties, it's very much a power play on their behalf because they haven't called play on, which means it's not play on. So they are the rules, and we've known that for probably, since that rule came in, which was probably 5 or 6 years ago now. Yeah. You can't hold the man up on the mark, which is what he did, and that's why it cost him 50 and a goal.
Scores level here at the Junction Oval. It's Irving who takes it out of the centre again. It's a quick kick inside 50. Makes it tough for the players though, and on the back, gets the crumbs. His field send very near the boundary line. Uses Wintle, who looks for a teammate, but hand passes it straight out of bounds.
On the run of play, Ken, you'd probably say the VCFL have been cleaner by hand and foot.
Oh yes, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. They've struggled a fair bit, the AFA this quarter.
Thrown back in on the 50 arc, and VCFL are going to have another chance to go forward. It's a good kick. A blind kick really on the turn by Sullivan, but it's come off well. And the VCFL are going to have another shot at goal.
He's been everywhere, Brad Miller, and I was going to make the joke before about the fact that it could have been the real Brad Miller down at Melbourne because he hasn't been playing that well. He might have actually got a game of Seaford and got a game in this VCFL team. But it isn't that Brad Miller. He is Brad Miller from Darley in the Ballarat League, and he'll have a shot at goal for the 30 out.
Yes, he's been a busy player.
There's a chance to kick the ball for the VCFL. Looks pretty good off the boot. It's through the middle. We'll wait for the goal umpire. Yes, it is another one. So the VCFL take the lead. They're 4-1-25, leading the VAFA 3-1 at 19. The cover-up Canvas Products scoreboard. We've gone almost 19 minutes in this first term for Sky High Mount Dandenong. I think that's the first time VCFL had the lead.
It's interesting at this stage, Joe and Dan, the scoring has been almost equal in terms of either end of the ground. I think it really depends on what side of the ground that you're going to attack from. It's probably going to make the difference.
So there's no clear winner from the ruck. Simpson going in very hard there. Ball trickles out here. Comes out to Beaumont, brother of Simon Beaumont, who played plenty of games for Carlton and Hawthorn. He does well. Bit of poise. Goes across the ground and finds a teammate on the outer wing. He goes by hand. Comes to Gideon. Goes very short. Finds Tony Brown. Brown goes looking inside, attacking 50, but too close to the loud, and goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. Probably only about 30 metres from goal in the far out of forward pocket.
If we can deduce anything from the opening minutes of this game, you would say the only advantage of either end is to attack from the far side of the ground when you're kicking towards the Fitzroy Street end.
So ball thrown in, good tap, gained about sort of 5 or so metres for the Amateurs, but they had no one down to take clean possession of it. So we'll have another throw in, only a couple of metres away from the left behind post for the Amateurs. They're attacking, ball thrown back in, Rucks go at it, decisive win at the tap. Ball very much in dispute here though, going very hard. There's Kirby, right at the bottom of the pack. Takes a couple of guys to wrap him up, and we'll have another ball up.
We've seen a couple of times then when they're defending on the pocket on the grandstand side of the ground. You can't get too close to the boundary when you're defending. You've got to be a little, probably 10-15 metres inside. Let the wind drag it not quite out.
Yeah, and it's all about kicking to advantage when you are going forward to try and out-position those defenders, and the VFA haven't really done that so far.
So had a free kick from that ball up, came to O'Keefe. A handball and then a kick comes to Walker. So he's on the half-back flank, and they're about 40 metres out from the goal that side are defending. Goes long, almost the man at the back, Brad Miller. He's been very good in this first term. Brett Boss tries to crash his way through, almost does, hard against the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in, right near there. The tent is where the VAFA boys are residing when they're taking a spell.
So some patches of free-flying play, but a lot of areas of this stagnant footy. It goes through Buckland's legs at the back from that tap in. Good tackling. Chance to go forward. Quick kick by Phibbs. The umpire's found a free kick, and it's going in the Ammo's direction for a push in the back.
Or holding on, whichever you like. I have noticed something with the VCFL, and it's a credit to them. Sometimes egos can get in your way in these rep games, but they're all playing as a team, which is fantastic.
So Hellier has the kick. The man on the mark stands at 50, so he's going to pop it up to the hot spot. Players will fly. Well, in the end, only one player full of it. Is that Voss?
Voss again.
Yeah.
Well, once again, he read the flight of the ball better than anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, that probably started out towards the left-hand point post, and it's landed at the top of the square.
He's the only one to fly directly in front. He gets his second for the turn, and the VAFA's 4. Scores are level again, 4-1-25 apiece. We cover up Canvas Products scoreboard. 22 minutes gone in the first term for Sky High Mount Dandenong.
I'll get someone on him, Ken. He's their only threat at the moment.
I was nearly going to say that it started off very well and had been sighted for a while. I'm glad I kept it to myself. But he is reading the flight of the ball very well with those windy conditions, because he was the only one that contested the ball at all.
I'll tell you what, I reckon Brett Voss, if he was still at St Kilda, would be in that best 22. I think he's a terrific big player, and why he ever got cut from the St Kilda list is beyond me.
Well, I think a lot of people at St Kilda even thought he could have had another year as the Amateurs go forward again. No mark there off the 50.
Voss again.
Off the ground, that was Voss with the left boot. Going for his third for the term, just pushes across the face of goal. It's one behind. It does give the amateur boys the lead though. They go to 4-2-26 lead. A solitary point over the VCFL, 4-1-25 on the cover-up canvas product scoreboard.
So the VCFL will kick in from the Fitzroy Street end. The umpire says hurry up, so they do. Go the outer side of the ground, and it needed to be an accurate kick, and it was. The mark has been taken. They continue along the wing near the fence. Buckland looks to play on and eventually does with a handball over the top. Still moving forward along the ring. They have the run now. They've done well. Heading inside to half forward. It's a 2-1 though, and the man in front will be paid the mark. It was well done. Andy Bowen, a strong defender for the Olders outside this year. He's sit atop the ladder with 11 wins and just the 1 loss. Kicks along the wing. The mark's been taken. This is handling up a bit higher there, Ken.
Yes, it is.
So he's not getting too much of it down the forward, so he's decided to get up the ground. He's got it again. Takes off the big loping run. Keeps it low inside 50. It's a good kick in the end. A good mark's being taken out in front.
Yes, sir.
Brett Voss.
Well, is he everywhere man now?
Well, he started in the centre and he's now pushed forward, playing sort of as a medium-sized forward, and they just can't get the right matchup for him.
He's kicked 2 goals, 1. Will kick right on the 50, right on the paint. A little bit windy down the end. The goal umpire has not moved. Brett Voss. Everywhere. In the first term, the Sky High Mount Dandenong has his third, the VAFA's fifth. They're 5-2, leading the VCFL 4-1. Cover-up canvas products.
Well, that's the beauty of that wind, isn't it, Ken? That's where it is blowing from on that side of the ground. You got the distance easily.
Yeah, easily. You're quite right. Well, I think the same thing's applying, even up the other end, because the protection is there from those buildings that you described at the beginning of the game. They're certainly having trouble on this side of the ground when you're almost kicking straight into the groove.
So McIntyre wins the tap decisively, but it comes down to Edwards, the skipper for the Country League. He can't take it. Dashing out of the centre here is Hillier. Can't get it, just gets it on the boot in time. Did he run too far? He did. The old basketball travel.
Yeah, I reckon he runs about 25.
Would have been a good place to take a bounce in that centre. It would have come back easily.
Very, very easily. So we go out wide. This is Kirby, the ruckman.
He'd probably lead all ball in this Kirby. He's had a bit of it outside of Voss, probably.
Travelling far and wide. He's on the outer wing here for his kick. So he's gone with the big right boot, big pack of players for him. Difficult mark to take, almost at the back there. Comes down to Beaumont. He can't get rid of it. Perhaps he dropped it, perhaps not. Umpire says play on. Beaumont goes in again. Good tap there on the hands and knees from the Amos. Comes out though, no clear winner. Umpire again letting it go. The boys from the country diving in there. That was Brody Philo coming out. Comes out wide. Going to have a shot at goal from right on the paint. Can't quite get it. So it's one behind. Didn't sign who that was. Kicked it, but moves the Amateurs, moves the Victorian Country Football League to 4-2. And they now trail by exactly a goal to the Amateurs 5-2.
Let's go deep into the first term. 26 minutes gone for Sky High Mount Dandenong. The difference, I should say, is a goal. The VAFA trying to move it along the wing. Kick didn't quite have the carry, so it's going to have to play on. Tawny's given the don't argue. The don't argue was too high, so it's given Couch another chance to go inside 50 of the VCFL, and it's a good kick. Man all alone on the lead.
Was it meant? Was that kick actually? Was that meant for O'Keefe, or was it possibly meant for Filia?
No, I think it might have been.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
I reckon it came up the outside of the foot and might have just landed in the arms, but good kick in the end.
So O'Keefe has it. He'll kick from just inside 50. Runs around a little changey angle. Looks great off the boot. Is he going to have the carry? No. Touch just on the line, or wait for the umpire. He did have the carry.
Does like.
A little chat about it. It is. It's a goal.
Close.
Score's tied. 5 goals to 32 apiece. And cover-up canvas product scoreboard. We can't split them so far in this first term. 27 minutes gone for Sky High Mount Dandenong.
Well, they wrestled back control, the VAFA, but then the VCFL come again, and the scores once again are level. Whoever can take the lead into the quarter-time break, it'll be a real psychological mark, you would suspect. Both sides will be coming out firing these last 2 or 3 minutes of the term.
So back in the middle, McIntyre doing a bit of relief ruck work while Header has a spell. Comes down there, Simpson going very, very hard at the ball. So is Hellier. Comes back out, comes out to Lowcock. He goes with the right boot long inside, attacking 50, almost a mark, flicks over the back. Numbers with the Victorian Country Football League. Hunter, he goes out wide, looking for Big Kirby. Going to have to put in some big ones. Gets the footy, gives off a don't argue, but gets stuck with it. Manages to get his boot to the ball. Not quite sure how he did that. Out on the outer wing is Hellier.
Free kick.
Blake was grabbing out the ball that time.
So Edwards holding on to him.
So I think that is Jack Hellier out there on the outer wing.
Good call from him. I'm right behind the post.
So it gives off a handball to a teammate, but that's a terrible kick inside, attacking 50, and Adam Hunter takes the relieving mark for the country.
Ooh.
So he is
hit the umpire?
gives an equally shocking kick. It's bounced off the umpire's feet, ended up with the hands of McLaren, but it's just through for one behind on the siren, and that is the difference at quarter time. 5-3-33 to the Ammos, 5-2-32 to the Victorian Country Football League.
So Header back in the ruck, go up against Kirby.
Waiting for me.
Just waiting for mine. Just want to make sure he's throw up first. There's the siren. That's what he was waiting for.
Real estate agents.
So second quarter action, representative football underway here. Ruch Fighter clearly won decisively by the country, but quick kick out of the middle by the Ammos. No clear mark for the attack. Buzzing in there is Lowcock. He can't take it. Great tackle by that man, Boss. This way, then that way. Comes out to Simpson. Goes by foot, looking inside 50. Handley, oh, that's a terrific mark. He had about two defenders hanging off him. One who probably infringed and would have given away a free kick if Handley hadn't taken the mark, but he did so. And he'll kick for goal from about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
He's a big, strong unit, Matthew Handley, and the guy that's on him's no chicken either, by the look of the side. Would have removed a decent divot out of the ground then, I think.
So he's kicked 40 goals this year, Handley. Been one of the key forwards for Old Severians. He leans back, puts that one through. Perhaps not going to quite make the distance, and it comes off hand for a rush behind.
It's been a terrific matchup, that one. We've got Matt Handley at 193 and 100. And on the other side of the coin, Guy Campbell at 196 and 104.
So some big boys. VCFL look to clear. They go to the outer side of the ground and decide to go backwards. I'm going to make sure he possessions down there. We already saw Bowen spill one early on for the Ammos, deep in his defensive 50. They come to this grandstand side of the ground. Kirby gets the punch down to lead in the race. VCFL go to ground and dive, and he'll have to get rid of it. Did it interestingly, but ended up with Lowcock anyway. Inside the 50, McLaren didn't have a shot on goal, or did he?
I think he sort of hedged his bets there, Joe.
Yeah, he might have been going for a teammate, not sure. Either way, it's gone through just for the one behind for McLaren. That's his second for the afternoon. 35 the Ammos, 32 VCFL.
Campbell's brought it back in, but it's a terrible kick. It's gone straight to Simpson. He goes short, looking for Handley again. Can't take the mark. Falls down low to Ben Phibbs. He goes by hand to McLaren from Marcelin. They can't get it. Numbers with the Victorian Country League. Going this way, then that. Comes out to Adam Hunter. Goes with the right boot, looking for the boundary line. Finds touch in rugby parlance. I think that was exactly what he was kicking for, and he found it.
Only if Macgiddo had done that last night.
They started very well, the Wallabies. He just couldn't quite hold on. Hadn't won it at Eden Park since 1986, so it would have been quite an upset. But back here at the Junction Oval, ball's thrown in. Attacking side of the wing for the Amateurs. Heta can't get a handle on it. Quick handball out there for O'Keefe. Can't get clear position. Comes out here to Brown. Brown goes on the left boot looking for McLaren. He's got it. Good mark there. One-on-one tussle.
He can play a bit, this young fella. Haven't seen the best of him today.
Tony Brown looks like he's about 24. Have a look at him. He looks sensational. I think he was playing down at Leopold because he is from the Geelong region. But, geez, he looks a picture out there at the moment.
So he's at Old Haileybury this year, playing with a lot of former St Kilda players under Jamie Shanahan. But back here, this is McLaren, plays his football with Marcelin on the left boot. Goal umpire hasn't moved. So he kicks his first for the afternoon, the sixth for the VAFA. They now stretch their lead. Just waiting for the scoreboard update here. 6-5-41 to 5-2-32. So a little decisive break here, perhaps for the first time this afternoon.
Well, the ball hasn't been over the centre line in this short part of the quarter, has it, for the visitors at the start. It's all been up the other end.
They need to get a takeaway. They haven't been able to do that in this quarter.
So the difference is 9 points to the Amateurs, and Header wins the tap down, tries to get it to Brown. Yeah, he's got the free kick for too high.
Good acting.
the country and Dan coming out. Gets the hands off. They go the 1-2 and then inside 50 looking for Hanley again. Can't take the mark this time. McLaren couldn't snatch it. The VCFL through hands will look to clear. They'll have to be good. Working well, Buckland. No, it gets chopped off. He's been pinned for holding the ball. Buckland perhaps trying to do a little bit too much.
I think he got caught in two minds there, Joan.
Simpson, who was good in the first term really, has been lively again in this second. We've only gone 4 minutes for Courtney and Patterson Honda. And it's been all the VAFA so far. So Simpson just pops it up to the hot spot. McLaren and Hanley will fly and look in the end probably worried each other out of it. So the VCFL should be able to clear a quick kick out towards the wing.
So out there, there's Brad Miller on the outer side. Victorian Country Footballer gets a handle on it, finds a teammate, go inside, attacking 50. Oh! Big clash there, a couple of bodies. Ball spills out the back. The Amados got the numbers. They go short, finds Locock. He's on the wing, got a bit of a paddock, has a bounce. Almost have another one, but a legs to go with the right boot. Really didn't kick to anyone in particular. It was a ball kick in the end, and Josh Vick takes the relieving mark. So he goes across the ground to Buckland. Made a bit of a blue before. Going to make up for it. Oh, goodness gracious. Stood his ground there. The VCFL.
I think the sun got in his eyes as well.
Hospital kick from Buckland, though. It was a snap around the corner. You can't afford to do those in the back line.
Jordan was coming at an absolute rate of knots. And he goes wide, looking for big Paul Kirby, with the ball slips through his fingers and will have a throw in.
He might have had a bit of KFC at quarter time. Slippery hands on that occasion.
So the margin is 9 points towards the amateurs. We're on the outer side of the ground. The punt rode in. It's been thrown in. And off the pack, the VCFL through speedy run. Look to bring it inside the forward 50. A spearing kick. Mark couldn't quite be taken. The defender had gone to ground and it's bumbled over the boundary line. So the kick just a little too high. Otherwise, it would have been snaffled by the VCFL. And they would have had their first shot inside 50 of the term. A term that's been dominated so far, really, by the Amos. 6 minutes in for Courtney and Patterson Honda. We're inside the forward 50. Fitzroy Street end for the VCFL. No clear takeaway from the tap. It could have been holding the ball umpire. It wasn't. The MO player just put it on the ground. They look to clear through Brown, very close to the boundary line. The VCFL will want to keep it in, but they can't. It's fumbled over to the nice white picket fence that surrounds the Junction Oval here.
Very picturesque, isn't it, Joe? So I'll have a throw in. So, attacking side of the centre for the Victorian Country Football League. Hetter can't win the tap. Crashing through there was a couple of players from the Victorian Country Football League. Locock lays a tackle in the end. Player didn't have that. So, comes out to the amateurs. Goes on the left boot here. Set a real task for McLaren. He's going to have to really dash. Gets a bad bounce. Running on the back there is Hanley, trying to help out his teammate. That was Cooper, was also going on very hard. The ball comes out here. The Amos have got it. They go forward with Fieldson. Puts a task for Hanley. Too much of a task in the end. And Campbell goes with a big hook. Going back to the fly of the ball. That's a great mark for Peter McGettigan. He's been terrific with Savine's Mentone so far this season and very good in their premiership last year. Sets McLaren a task. Ball very close to the boundary. Could have almost got it on the fourth grab. Finally got it on grab number 5. Not paid. Leslie couldn't get a handball away. And we'll have a throw in just attacking side of the wing for the amateurs.
Well, he fisted that straight up in the air and really his teammate should have shepherded for him, but he flew and they flew into each other. Maybe not knowing each other. No real chemistry there.
So Header wins the tap, gets it to Voss. He's back out on the ground. Little toe poke doesn't go very far. Was looking for Fibs. Players wrapped up in the ball. Umpire will have to come in. The ball can't bounce itself. The umpire will come in. Now bounce up. Interestingly, Ken, earlier we had Hanley and McLaren up here on the wing that when the ball got turned over, the Amos really had nowhere to go inside 50. So it's Buckland in the back line, being battled hard against Charlie Talent. And it's bumped over the boundary line. Yeah, Ken, just expanding on that. They had no one to kick to. With players up the ground.
What happens when players move?
It looks like Locock's going to sit a kick behind the play for the VAFA with the ball in their forward line.
So the VCFL win the tap down. Can't get clear possession, but finally a quick kick comes forward. Playing in front was Tawny. Couldn't get on the end of it, but they will look to go inside through Neville. Neville gets hands off. It's a little sloppy. And a turnover. VCFL are underway. And one kick, they go inside 50.
Oh.
Had to split the two. Almost did, really, in the end. Bowen did well. So did Wintle. They're going to have to work together now. The VCFL, they've got some help. They've got some backup. They're going to have a shot at goal. Off the boot.
Terrible kick.
Wasn't happy as soon as he left the boot. That was Walker. And it's just through 4-1 behind. So they cut the margin to 7 points. The Ammo still lean on the Worldwide Sports Insurance scoreboard.
Yeah, might have been the middle of that.
Had his chance and he was in acres of space. He probably shouldn't have shot from 45. He probably should have closed at 30, but elected to kick a goal.
So the Amateurs come out to Cooper, who goes with a long kick.
That's Leslie.
Marked by Leslie. Gives off an interesting handball.
Hunter.
Comes out here to Hunter. It goes across the ground. 50-50 ball in dispute. Edwards does very well. Goes back to Buckland, who goes short. Finds a teammate about 70 metres out from goal. So this is O'Keefe. What can he do? Inside 50 goes with a short pass. It looked a bit ordinary off the boot. Almost a mark to the VCFL, but they can't take it. Comes out to Lowcock. Got a whistle.
Yeah,
Free
good
kick in
decision
play.
that time. Definitely got him high.
So high tackle goes to Tom Simpson.
He's not a big man, so
He's a nugget, so it wouldn't be hard to tackle him higher. So they go out very wide, looking for Daniel Cooper, playing with old Essendon, who are having a bit of a rugged season, it's fair to say, in their introduction to A-grade amateur football. But a player down over there who may have collided with his own teammate, and I don't think he's moved down. I didn't actually catch the incident.
Yeah, I think he caught the elbow on the way through.
Right.
And yeah, he did not move.
And his teammate was very, very concerned about him, so we will attempt to, exactly who that is out there.
And the umpire, the field umpire, stopped the game without hesitation as well.
So he's being tended to by numerous trainers on the outer wing.
And the stretcher will come out onto the field, I believe. They're calling for it now, so we will have a stoppage in play. We'll get back to the incident in a moment. Maybe our summation of the first quarter and a half of this game as time stops. At the moment, the VAFA lead this game 6-5-41 to the VCFL 5-3-33.
There's 14 minutes on our clock gone. Courtney and Patterson Honda in the second term, but obviously it's going to be a long term when we add this break into it, as the player is almost to the boundary and the players are set for resumption. An Ammo's free kick on the outer side of the ground. They're kicking to the city end, Junction Oval.
He's still out. I don't think he's moved.
And the ambulance is on its way. He moved his arm on the side.
It's good to see. So the Amateurs come inside, attacking 50. Simpson goes short, finds Handley. So you have another shot this term. He's been the focal point, I think it's fair to say, probably for Old Zabs. They've had another stellar season in A grade of amateur football. I think they sit first on the table, just the one loss, and had a very close win over D-Lar a couple of weeks ago, their main rival. So Handley crosses the 50 now, kick from about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Easy action, leans back on the kick a little bit, and he's pushed it right across.
The VCFL will look to clear from the City Road end. Going with handballs in the back line, and they've mucked it up. Couldn't get turnover here. Can they be more accurate inside 50? Hanley just decides to punch it onto a teammate. Still going, still have an advantage. Rugby style low kick in the side. Of course, they can't knock it straight over the boundary line, but it has bumbled in that direction. And still, Dan, we have Lowcock just sort of as the spare man standing back if that quick kick comes out for the VCFL.
Well, he seems to be the midfielder creating the wall. There's also another midfielder for the VAFA just sitting outside the 50 playing smart old style footy.
So the ball's been thrown in, still in dispute. The VCFL off the back of the pack through hands will try to clear. Finally get the run on, and they look to kick to the outer wing. Can't hit the target, ball goes over the top and towards the boundary line. It's happily seen over there by the Ammos.
That's what you tend to do, obviously, in football, and especially these representative games. Stick to a fairly basic plan. Two midfielders go into the forward line, two midfielders stay out, preferably the ruckman stays out, and that way you can hopefully propel any counter-attacks.
So ball thrown in, true wing position, flicked over the back, Miller for the VCFL, very close to the boundary line. The ball trickles over out of bounds.
And Hellier seems to be their other defensive midfielder over there, Ken. Is that number 24 over on the outer side?
Yes.
See a guy who tends to work behind the footy?
Oh, at times, yes.
Have another throw in, probably about 70 metres away from the Amateurs' goal. Ball still very much in dispute. Simpson, he's been terrific in this term. He's only a little man in stature. He's big and hard. There's a very quick kick smothered off the boot. Edwards does well. A couple of quick handballs here, and they've got a bit of a run going. And this is Ricky Sullivan. He goes long inside 50, and it's a great mark inside 50. Is that Leslie?
Herdman, maybe. It might be Leslie. It doesn't look like Leslie.
Perhaps Herdman.
Although in a white jumper, who knows? They all look so different.
So the VCFL kicking for their first for the afternoon. It's going to need every bit of his best, kicks from 52 metres out, but as again, he makes the distance easily. And he's kicked it, so here's the 6th for the VCFL for the afternoon. They cut the margin to 2 points. They go to 6-3-39, trailing the VAFA 6-5-41. We've gone 17 minutes in this second quarter thanks to Courtney and Patterson Honda.
And good lead up from Herdman. We mentioned before during the interval there, the stop in play, that he had been getting outnumbered and probably trying to take his marks maybe 25, 30 metres out from goal. That time got a little bit further up the ground, marked about 45 out from goal, in that pocket of wind, which made it a fairly easy kick at goal.
So 2 points the margin here at Junction over the Amateurs have the lead. From the centre, VCFL go inside 50, another good kick, couldn't quite be taken on the second grab. Player wrapped up, that's Bowen. And the umpire will have to come in and bounce.
Cook and Herdman working in tandem out of the goal square. They've done well so far. Herdman from Eagle Hawk and Cook from the Wodonga Raiders, but they're teaming up nicely.
So taken out of the ruck, player got rid of it though, but only just kicked it high in the air. Winter will try and spoil, does well, and it bumbles over the boundary line right near the behind post at the Fitzroy Street end, which is the end the VCFL are kicking this second term for Courtney and Patterson Honda. The scoreboard shows just a 2 point margin. The VCFL still chasing the VAFA at this stage, but it's inside their forward 50. No clear winner from the ruck. A lot of players diving in on the ball. Umpire letting it go. Keeps letting it go, and it is the Amateurs who will look to come away with it on the wing. Get a hand pass off to Simpson. They go out wide, give the don't argue, have a couple of players in support. But it bumbles over the boundary line on the outer side of the ground, the punt road side of the ground, I should say.
Now Hayden Header went off the ground in the first quarter and the VCFL got on top. It's now off the ground again for the VAFA, so hopefully the VCFL can get themselves back on top of the contest, especially around the stoppages, where they have dominated, and especially through the work of big Paul Kirby, who's been battling hard all day.
So Kirby, I can't win the tap on that occasion. Big pack of players for him, and we're going to have another ball up. As you can hear the wind perhaps just picking up a fraction. You might hear it on our effects microphone this afternoon. You've just joined us. It's representative football on this Sunday afternoon, a beautiful afternoon at the Junction Oval. So from the ball up, VCFL win it, pick their pocket there. Number 10, Charlie Talon from Old Scotch, goes with the kick straight back into the congestion though. Perhaps could have done that a little better, but fortuitously the ball spills free, comes out here to Tawny, goes by hand, can't take it, comes back to him, lucky bounce, comes back to Tawny, grabs it, can't pick it up on about the 4th attempt, does well. Just stops, goes, concedes 15 metres, goes very short, comes into Simpson, he marks 55 out from goal, goes across the body, interesting kick, Campbell charging out of defence, did very well. Goes the handball back into traffic though, smothered by Hanley, does very well, dives back in, gets a little handball out here, numbers with them, comes out to Brett Foss, can't quite get a handle on it, he goes wide, kick on goal, can't take the mark, and it's a behind for the VCFL.
Was that Tony Brown on the far side?
No, it's actually Tony Brown who would stretch it off and had Glenn Dragmar down.
Was Tony Brown who would stretch it off?
He getting the information.
Well, he didn't kick a goal, I can tell you that much.
So best wishes to Tony and all his family and friends listening at home. We will give you an update as soon as we come across it.
So he'd be off to hospital quickly.
The player that kicked that point was Mark Hanley.
Yep.
So stretches their margin to 3 points. VCFL look to go inside 50, but that attack has been chopped off by Groves. Groves goes to the outer side of the ground. Short kicking, they're looking to clear the Amateurs. This is Beaumont. Decides to play on through the centre. Field send. Does the old 1-2. He's right up to the centre circle now and will kick inside 50, looking for Hanley. He's got too much carry on it. Brett Foss in the forward line will try and chase down Buckland. He's probably wanting the boundary line as he may be outnumbered. No, decides to keep it in. Fantastic footy. Buckland for the VCFL. Kicks it forward. Looking for Hunter. Very near the boundary line.
Good tackle, McGetting it.
2-on-1. McGetting got him down, but he was able to tap it. Buckland's followed up his run and will kick inside 50.
It's over the back.
Over the back. On the bounce. Can't grab it. See a player freeze. Just come on the bench. This is Clark. He's going to kick a goal. He should kick a goal. And he has. Clark just off the interchange bench. Buckland, a couple of great moments in that passage of play for him. And the VCFL have their 7th. They take the lead now here in the second term. They're 7-3-45, leading the ammo 6-6-42 for Worldwide Sports Insurance. 22 minutes gone for Courtney and Patterson Honda, and this quarter will go long because it was Tony Brown who got knocked out and taken by a stretcher from the ground, which did slow the game for a couple of minutes, Ken.
Yes, and it sort of changed the momentum a little bit. I thought that Dan's comment about Heather going off was a very significant one because he was right to the floor in the early part of the score and getting a lot of drive in the centre throw-ups.
So back in the centre and dashing through the middle here is Neville. Goes by hands to Tawney, who's been good in this term, pumps the ball long, looking for Hanley. Down at ground level there is Charlie Talent, rides one bump, just spills the ball in the second bump. Comes out here to Guy Campbell, goes short.
He's been terrific, Campbell. He's probably been the best player on the ground.
He's been very agile for a big man, isn't he? Moves particularly well. So centering kick here, looking for McFarlane. Lowcock goes with the double-fisted punch, comes back to him though. He's been pretty good this afternoon, playing in that loose role as we've identified. Quickly gets away, comes to Simpson. He's about 60 metres out from goal. It's a great kick, McLaren. Really spotted him. I think a lot of people thought he was going to Handley. He was leading straight up the middle of the ground. He just kicked the ball a little wider and found McLaren, who was making a nice lead into open space.
Tommy Simpson's been very, very busy this quarter and very good for the side. I thought in the early part of it that he was just reading hitters, so knockouts better than anybody else, but for the rest of the quarter, he did very, very well under his own steam. Great pass.
So Cameron McLaren from Marcelin kicks for goal. He's pushing it across the face.
He's got it. It's a goal.
It is a goal. It is indeed. So McLaren kicked his second for the afternoon.
If the posts were higher, I'd argue.
Yeah, with perhaps an interesting one.
Touch and go.
It looked very touch and go, but goal umpire's given it a goal, so that stands. So McLaren kicks his second for the afternoon. The VAFA go to 7-6-48 and now lead by 3 points over the VCFL, 7-3-45.
Was that Charlie Talent coming from the ground a little bit ginger?
Yeah, he looks a bit ginger. He went down 2 or 3 minutes ago. Too good trying to get to his feet.
So Kirby and McIntyre in the middle. No clear winner, but McIntyre followed up his good work, got the hands to Phibbs, who's kicked them inside 50. Battling in the race is Hanley, does well. This is a body to beat too. Gets the hand pass out. Hanley very close to the boundary line. Still got it, keeps it in. On the left, he couldn't have. No, he hasn't. Hanley with the left. Tried to snap it round, but couldn't. And it was just through for one behind.
Playing for themselves, the VAFA should have centred that.
They're now lead by 4 points on the Worldwide Sports and the scoreboard.
A good shot, wasn't it, Ken?
Yeah.
So the VCFL have gone very long, but too long in fact, and they've kicked it out of bounds on the full. They bounced 3 or 4 times, but nobody touched it before it trickled out of bounds.
It went 85 metres though, that's a positive.
That is a positive. So comes to Mark Ainley from Old Brighton. He goes short, finds a teammate, drives the ball inside 50. McLaren's the target yet again, just drifts over his head. He's still going at it, got front position, goes with the left boot. Soccer style, out of mid-air, can't quite pull it back enough, and he kicks his second behind for the afternoon.
Well, he kicked it into the back of the net.
He did indeed, just unfortunately needed to get it through the 2 big sticks. So they go to 7-8-50, and now lead by 5 points over the country. VCFL, 7-3-45.
So Ferrara for the VCFL has to stop a prop. He's got Corral. They'll look to go through the centre. Oh, they've mucked it up. Not enough torque. Rebounders. Tommy Simpson again gets the hands off.
Kick.
Standing start.
High. Oh, it's hit the post. I didn't see who kicked that one.
Mark Ainley.
Ainley, was it?
He's finding himself around the goal face at the moment, Ainley, and he's providing a few headaches, but terrible turnover there from the VCFL.
Just had to hold that mark, didn't he? I think it was Adam Cook, was it, in the middle?
Yeah, he went down on one knee. Hit him in the knee. That's why it cannoned towards Ainley, because it actually hit him on the knee when he dived in.
So the VFA have set up quite a good zone here, forcing Campbell just to go long. Kick to Ruckman. Ruckman versus Ruckman. Almost takes it Kirby. McIntyre did well to bring it to ground. Lowcock goes to Neville. Goes one way then the other, but a very good handball to space. Finds McLaren. We've got a whistle. Could be advantage paid. Looking for Hanley. Can't quite take the mark. Numbers with the VAFA. They flick it out the back. Comes to Neville. Working very hard. Right up against the boundary line. Good to hear. So infringement here from the ruck contest, and the free kick's going to go to Voss.
Obviously not allowed to shepherd in the ruck down at the VAFA, are you?
Well, he'd better say he completely took him out of the contest. Didn't give Voss any shot at the ball. So perhaps warranted a very difficult shot at goal though. He's only about sort of 25 or 30 metres out. But he's going to be probably only a metre or 2 in from the boundary line.
Fairly deep pockets here at the Junction as well.
It's but then again, Brett Foster's been very good this afternoon. If anyone can kick it, he probably can. Improves the angle slightly, goes on the right boot, and he's hit the post. So he now has 3 goals, 2 for the afternoon. So this is a run of 4 or 5 behinds in a row for the Amateurs. Just wasting a couple of opportunities here.
They lead by 6, the Amos, 51 to 45. VCFL have had a few goes at this clearing the footy, and this time I was going to say they've done a lot better because they got it up to the centre, but they've turned the ball over again to Neville. Neville's been lively in the last few minutes. They go out wider, slowing play down a little before they go inside 50. Have players queuing in the centre but waiting for the leads up forward. Decide to go wider again. The half-forward flank, half road side of the ground. Yamo's heading towards the city, and it's just going to be bombed inside into the hot spot. Swirling wind will make it difficult. Big pack forms, punch down. Players dive on it. The ball's in dispute. VCFL looks clear with a little punch. They do, fortuitously to a teammate. Goes one way, then the other, then gets hands off, and VCFL off and running. Through the middle, the ball is kicked high inside 50, 1-on-1. Wintle does well to spoil from the back. Gets hands off though, leading back in the race. Is this Clark on the left? Walker's kicked it. Luke Walker.
Right on by Nick Couch, who rode the pack and got the handball away. Terrific work. He could have gone himself, but gave the handball and then provided a shepherd, which is probably the first shepherd I've seen for the day.
Ties the scores here, 7-10-53 to 8-3-53.
So the country really taking the most of their opportunities here. They've kicked much straighter than the VAFA. Just wasted a couple of opportunities, probably several opportunities in the last 5 minutes, Ken.
Well, the VAFA have kicked 2 goals, 7 this quarter so far, and I think out of the 7 behinds, there's probably been half of those that could have easily been major scores.
And they've kicked 2 out in the full as well, to add to that.
I will just check my maths for you. It's 7-10-52 to 8-3-51. The Ammo's leading the Worldwide Sports Insurance scoreboard.
So back in the winner, no clear winner in the centre clearance. Comes to Edwards here on the wing. Goes by hand. It's an awkward handball. Locock perhaps would have laid the tackle. Country players did very well there. Comes back out to Couch on the right boot. Just sits it up. Running for his teammate and he marked it. Jeez, that was a very clever kick by Nick Couch, number 38. Mark kick from about 45 metres out. We're right behind him. He's just pushed it to the right-hand side. That's the breeze giving him a little helping hand. So he kicks one behind.
Should we be going left goalpost there, Ken?
I think so. But I mean, I would have been happier for him to square the ball in the first place rather than take the shot. Well, I'm not kidding because
fair enough.
They're kicking accurately from that side of the ground. Yep. I reckon it's tough to sell.
So the Ammos have kicked into the outside of the ground. Ball in dispute. Players tackled well. The umpires let it go, and it's come out of the back of the pack to the Ammos. Just gets away with it. Through the middle, they're going to try and use hands. They need to be good here as VCFL are putting good pressure on. You're going to have to kick to a contest in the end. Players fly. That was Cook trying to get over the top of Lowcock. Neville does well. Good pressure by Couch. Heading towards the boundary line, trying to have a sock out. Couldn't. Walker keeps it in. Gets hands off to Edwards. His hand pass is smothered. Almost dives in on it. Will need to get it out. Just get it clear. They've got players. Neville gets hands to Lowcock. They really need to be good in close traffic. They need to just kick it. Simpson gets it off to Groves. Simpson goes again, a push in the back. They're really lucky in the end to get out of that. That was a lot of hands.
Terrific work, Mark Ainley at half-back. He smothered the handball originally. It would have been a goal, easy goal to the VCFL. Then recovered the footy and started that string of handballs. Although, geez, the VFA, they tend to overuse the footy a little bit along this wing.
Certainly did on that passage. But Jordan won the free kick, goes along the line. It's a poor kick. It's been chopped off
Maybe
by
that's what
Ferraro, who decides to go for a run, takes a bounce, goes inside 50. But it's not going to have the carry, and it's been chopped off by McIntyre for the Ammos.
So it goes wide. Finds the teammate Ben Phibbs. That was McGettigan who took that mark deep in defence. Phibbs, very ordinary looking kick, but gets to Simpson. He's had the ball on a string in this quarter. Goes across the ground, sets Jordan a task. Does very well though. Does extremely well there. Cooper with the flashy boots. Just got a little bit distracted there. Chris Simpson goes with the left boot. But the numbers all with the VCFL, and they'll clear. Out wide here is Simon O'Keefe. Goes with a very long kick, looking for Couch. Can't quite get it. There's Daniel Leslie. That is half-time, and perhaps a tad fortuitously there for the Amateurs. The Victorian Country Football League did have the ball very much in their midst. So at half-time, we cannot split them here at the Junction Oval at representative football. It is the VAFA 7-10 52 versus the VCFL 8-4-52. So we'll be back. We'll take a break. Be back with some analysis for the second half.
So Brett Voss, the captain, will start back in the centre for the Ammos. On the boundary, Charlie Talent, who didn't injure himself late in the second term, has started on the bench. Dan, he's seen him running up and down, trying to keep warm. Looks like a leg injury. Well, it's all square here at half-time. Third quarter to get underway with Chris Venus.
So the umpire throws it up. Their head are back on after having a spell late in that second term. And it's Brett Voss with the takeaway. Goes by hand to Simpson. Goes with a little short, sharp spearing pass. And he finds a teammate, that's McGettigan, who's really, in modern football, the ultimate swingman. Can play up forward, up back, or run through the midfield. He's been a terrific player for St Beans Mentone Tigers this year and last year. He'll kick for goal directly in front. It'll be from about 47 or 48 metres out. Ball on its way. Going straight. Did it get touched on the line?
Goal.
I don't think so. One goal. So terrific start for the VAFA side. They kicked the first goal of the third quarter. And they now lead by that margin. And even 6 points. They're 8-10 to the VCFL 8-4.
Well, that's the perfect start, obviously, for the VAFA, but it's also a real good way to use this ground, to go straight down the ground. I mean, that was one handball and a short pass and a shot for goal.
And a terrific pass it was, and a terrific shot at goal.
So 1 minute into the term for Pep Science Heidelberg, and the amateurs have kicked a goal early. It's a VCFL from the centre who look to take it away. Philo has it, hand passes it back, they go inside 50. It's a spearing pass, but it's off target and ends up with the hands of Tawney. He decides to give it off, and they'll come along this grandstand side of the ground. It's going to bounce in front of Lowcock and bounced over his head. Bumbles over it in front of the interchange bench of the amateurs, which is down one man, as Tony Brown was injured in the second term. Perhaps a proppy Charlie Talent on the bench as well. So will they have the legs to run it out? It's thrown back in, right in front of the grandstand. Header wins it down, punches it towards the boundary line. And players happy to see it over again. And we'll do it all again.
VCFL again starting the term fairly slowly. They've done this 3 times in a row now.
So just the one score early in this term. Kirby gets rid of header and taps it down, and it's Simpson, who had a blinder of a second term, comes away with it. Puts it on the left, inside 50. Hack forms. Ball hits the deck. McGettigan looks to go again. Brett Voss is in there. He's already got 3 for the afternoon. The umpire's found a free kick. Holding the man too long, really, in the contest once he got rid of it. And Hanley is going to have a shot at goal. We just mentioned earlier he's got 3 behinds and 1 out in the full.
Left goal post is to go here, Joe.
We sit right behind it, Dan, so we're going to have a good view.
Keep it nice and low.
I think you might do the opposite.
So the Fitzroy Street end of Junction Oval. The amateurs lead by a goal, looking to extend it in the third term. Well, he's sort of
started at the left behind post.
And the mark being taken. The umpire going to pay it. He is. Didn't even have the carry in the end, and it's McLaren.
He's the only man on the ground wearing. There's 2 men on the ground wearing long sleeves for the VAFA, and he's the only one with all the way down to the wrists.
So McLaren, he's going to have to run around and kick a banana, you would think, for this one.
I love it how they always point at the man on the mark.
Just to check to kick the ball, go.
Well, he's done. Banana or a check side. He's kicked it through for the goal. And it was well done, McLaren, who took the mark on the goal line. That's his third. The amateurs have another. They're 9-10, leading Victorian Country 8-4. 12-point lead. Templestowe Television.
Sorry, mate. That's some of the best humour I've heard on radio for a very, very long time. Wouldn't want him kicking a banana. We want him to kick the footy. Ken, that's some of your finest.
Classic Ken.
Classic Ken. It was a good kick in the end because that's a tough pocket to kick goals from, and they were very, very close in on the mark. They were crowding him up, but he just basically walked straight in and kicked the goal straight.
Almost a little casual about it. He's clearly done it a few times before. It was very relaxed. Back in the centre, comes out to Edwards for the VCFL. He goes wide to his vice captain Hunter. Goes this way, then that, and pumps the ball inside 50. VCFL forced to play the role of defenders.
And got him high. Dragged him down after he tried to punch him.
So the free kick going to the VAFA. So they go long. Boss is going to have 2 to beat. Flies, loses his footing, but wins the free kick for over the shoulder.
Soft.
thought that was soft, but still, if you put yourself into the position, the onus is then on the umpire to make the decision.
Yeah,
Very risky kick though.
it was a risky kick, and Voss lost his feet, and there were 2 VCFL players still standing, so it's a silly infringement, even if it was a little soft. So it comes out to Neville. Neville goes very, very wide, finds Groves. So Groves goes on the right boot for a team that can't quite mark it handling on that occasion. Numbers with the VCFL, or loses the footy. Player there goes by hand to McLaren. It goes by hand again to Campbell. Campbell's been great, dashing off half-back for a big man. Goes inside to Jesse Smith, who goes by hand to a teammate who boots the ball almost inside 50, but a fantastic mark there at the back, taken by Paul Wintle.
Wintle very strong in defence. Plays with St Bede's Mentone Tigers, who won the A-grade championship last year. He's kicked it off. Vips looks to go inside 50. Punch away from the pack, comes to ground. Going in hardest was Ainley. Wins the ball, will win it back again from the 1-2 on the right boot. He's aimed for the left goal post, and exactly what you said, Dan, he's kicked a goal to the Fitzroy Street end for the amateurs. Ainley has his first for the afternoon. That was a great kick on the run.
Well, he's finishing on in this, or carrying on in this quarter from where he left off in the last quarter. Ainley was very instrumental, not only in kicking the goal, in actually setting it up. He was the one that eventually finished that popping it through. But very good piece of play. That's a good sign for the VAFA. And
a very, very smart move by Dean Anderson as well. A guy who is in form in these sorts of games, guys that love the stage. If you can figure that out in the first half, throw him in the middle in the second half and see how he goes. That's exactly what they've done, and he's dominated.
So commanding break here to the VAFA. They lead by 18 points. They kicked 3 goals in this third quarter in the first 6.5 minutes. This third term brought to you by Pep Science Heidelberg. Back in the centre, header, went for the ruck, got a kick. Not a great one though. Numbers with VCFL, comes out to Hunter, gets a handle on it, goes to Joe McLaren, works it back to a teammate, chain of handballs, comes out to Campbell. It's a little sloppy. Feeling Jordan really works very hard here. Terrific forward pressure, goes again. Oh, he put his body on the line, gets straight back up. McLaren going in hard, and again Jordan. He's done terrifically well there. Comes out to Locock. Quick handball out here to the Amos, cross the ground looking for Ben Fitch, but he can't quite take the mark.
Well, they really nearly made them pay dearly there, didn't they?
One more goal, I think it might be a nail in the coffin of the VCFL. They've fallen apart at the start of this third term.
Oh, you're giving that a bit easy.
Absolutely. Ball thrown in, only about 15 metres out from goal. It's an easy clearance here to the VCFL, but Buckland, it's a terrible kick, almost marked by Simpson. He's tackled.
Free to the VCFL.
And a free to the VCFL. That was it was a very ordinary kick by Buckland.
That was a very, very, very classy dive from Joe McLaren.
Perfect 10.
Yeah, Laganis would have been happy with that.
He's won himself the free kick and kicked it short into Buckland. Got the hand pass back, still inside defensive 50. Went to ground but managed to get the hand pass off to a teammate. They looked to come through the centre. His teammate went a long way, but they've still got the ball through Ferrara in the centre. Kicks it inside 50. It's going to hit the deck first. There's still lead back in the race. Quality work by the VCFL. Diving in hard to get some hands off. They've done well the Amos to get it clear. Little touch on the hand pass means it didn't hit the target. They're on the outer side of the ground through numbers, through Fibs. They look to get away. On the left boot, he'll bang it inside 50, looking for McLaren, going back with the flight.
Great judgment there, eyes on the ball.
And that wind did carry it over the back. We'll talk about that in the second term, down that Fitzroy Street end. Forwards, you hear always playing front, but when the wind's pushing and carrying it, sometimes it's better to be behind.
He was in front, but as soon as the kick came in, he jumped behind. As soon as it came in.
He just read the flight of the ball in a far superior manner to his opponent, I think.
Certainly, and that's why he took the mark.
Well, I thought the difference was that he kept his eyes on the ball quite distinctly, where the other player was more concerned about where his opponent was.
He has 3-3, didn't look too great off the boot, it's just the one behind. So McLaren has 3-4 for the afternoon. Takes the Amos lead to 19 points on the Templestowe television scoreboard. 9 minutes gone for Pep Science Heidelberg in the third term.
It's probably the biggest lead of the day, I think.
It'll be up there, certainly, yeah.
So Joe McLaren goes out to the half-back flank. A handball to release Walker, who goes by hand, finds Jesse Smith. Another handball here to the VCFL, about 70 metres out from goal. Can't take the mark. Player in front there rewarded.
Pretty good, Matthew Ferguson.
He has been good. It's So he'll take the free kick in true centre half-back position. Play on. Goes on the left boot. Going out very wide, looking for a teammate. Takes the mark. Advantage paid. Comes out here to Groves. Groves runs to 50. Sets up for home. He's missed. McLaren there in two minds in the square. Was going to mark it, then he let it go, and it just drifted for one behind to Groves. So they move to 10-12-72, a decisive 20-point lead over the VCFL, 8-4-52 on the Templestowe television scoreboard.
They've turned it over. It's going to come back inside 50. Players fly. Good work in defence. Look, they did well, the VCFL in the end, just to rush it through for the one behind.
And McLaren had just bounced up on him at the wrong time.
It was messy, but it wasn't a goal for the amateurs.
So the VCFL bring it back in, a little more circumspect on this occasion. That was very short to Ben Cosgriff. Hasn't got a lot moving for him. Finds Buckland.
He's mucked up his last two kicks, Buckland, and he won't muck this one up.
Goes to the boundary, but it's a good one. Having to sit there was Michael McFarlane. That's a very good mark. So he goes inboard to Ricky Sullivan. Sends it very high. Difficult to mark this one. Big punch from the back was Ainley. Bit of space here for the amateurs. Ben Phibbs goes short. Not a great kick, but it's going to sit for Groves, and it does. He's got it about 70 metres out from goal. He's got players running for him everywhere. Phibbs takes the mark, crosses the 50, sets sail for home, goes long, and he's kicked it. Terrific goal. Had time to steady himself. And he's kicked his first for the afternoon, Bev Phibbs. And it's now a 26-point lead for the VAFA. They lead 11-13 to the VCFL, 8-4.
Well, there's two things we've got to point out there, Ken. First of all, Ainley across half-back flew up to punch the footy. That was a deliberate punch.
Yep.
And that's exactly where he meant to punch it, straight into the path of Ben Phibbs, who got the kick away and then followed up, got it back, and finished off with a goal. Just terrific individual work.
Yes, well, there was good work there from the two subdued maintaining players, because it was
Groves and Phibbs.
Groves and Phibbs that did the finishing off work there, and obviously part of what they do when they're playing with their own club.
So header off the ground, McIntyre goes into the ruck for the amateurs. Boss ends up with the ball, sends it back toward Neville. Couldn't hold on to it, but butters up the scraps and gets a hand pass off to be able to send the amateurs forward again. Packing form here. Players flew high. No one can come down. The Lowcott gets the punch off. The Gettigan does well. Bullock's hard. Hand pass in the direction of Voss, bumbling along the ground. Turns once, twice.
Had a good look.
Works it out. Kick it to McLaren. He couldn't quite hang on to it. Just over his head. VCFL through Buckland. No, good smother. Bring it back in. Buckland, second effort. Gets the tackle in. Ends up with Hanley to McLaren. Good work back there, really, by Buckland and co, including the big guy Campbell, to knock it out of bounds.
Look, a lot of the sting seems to have gone out of the country side. You know,
Maybe that's because their captain's been on the bench. He's about to come back on.
79-52 in favour of the amateurs. Ball's thrown in inside there, attacking 50. McLaren wanted to grab it and go for goal. Jordan tackled the player and he just dropped it. The umpire says play on. 2-3 hand passes they look to clear. Kick is good enough. Simpson leading back in the race. Can he turn his player inside out? No, he's tackled. Well tackled. Umpire, that should be ball. He just put it on the deck. Phibbs puts it inside 50. McLaren stuck his hands right in the back of his opponent, and he's given away the free kick.
They need the next one here for VCFL, or they are well and truly gone. GAWN. Gone.
Just as much of a momentum as for the scoreboard. This quarter's been all the VFA. So Buckland goes by hand to a teammate, drives the ball up on the wing, but it's a very shonky looking kick. Cosgriff does well though, gets the handball to Miller. Miller goes short, and it's a good strong mark taken out on the lead on this occasion by Cook. Cook moves quickly and 50 metres.
Yep, you can't encroach the man who's kicking it from behind, even if he does look like he's played on.
So that was Matthew Fieldsen, I think number 12 for the VFA. So that's a costly 50-metre penalty here, because that's gone from a ball inside 50.
And that's twice they've done that.
That has indeed, that's a good point.
And they've gone to the goal line twice.
So this has gone from a kick just looking to drive the ball inside 50 now to a certain goal, to Adam Cook, who pops it through for his first for the afternoon. And a very important goal there, just keeps the VCFL in touch. So they go to 9-4-58. So they trail the VAFA 11-13-79 on the Templestowe television scoreboard. We've gone 14 and a half minutes in this third quarter.
Well, it's, an example of lack of concentration at the time, because you're taught some of these things are fundamental to the game, and that is one of those areas where if the umpire doesn't make the call, you don't go in there. You've made the point several times now.
So the Amateurs lead by 21 points. 15 minutes into the third term. Brought to you by Pep Science Heidelberg. We've got a secondary bounce in the middle. McIntyre wins it down, but no clear takeaway. Player gets slung to the deck, hit that hard turf. He's a little bit sick and sorry for himself. We'll wait and see if he picks himself up. Meanwhile, VCFL look to go forward, or at least to their half-forward line. Good pass, a good mark by Miller. Kicks it into the man on the mark. That was Tawney. Miller decides to butter up, does well in the end. Good second effort. Oh, a little feign by Walker, who then went for goal, but kicked it out on the full.
And the injection of the captain back into the midfield, Jared Edwards, has certainly had an impact, and also Chris Irving. He's been terrific in the middle today for the VCFL.
So Chris Simpson it was who hit the turf very hard there. From the kick-in, VAFA player lost their footing, comes out here to couch. He goes on his left foot, goes higher than it does lengthwise. No 15, Mark not paid. Mark taken by the VCFL, and he's gone on his left and he's kicked it. That's a fantastic effort.
Is that Ricky Sullivan?
It was Ricky Sullivan indeed. He heard the call and knew it wasn't going to be 15. So he essentially took the mark, and on the way down he threw it on the left boot as he was tackled, and he's kicked his first goal. So that's 2 in a row for the VCFL. So they're just getting a little run on here. So they move to 10-4-64. Now try by 15 points to the VFA, 11-13-79 on the Templestowe television scoreboard.
He might have given up a bit early there.
Oh, I didn't quite give up.
You were 1 goal away from giving up.
Well, I did say they kicked another goal, and they did kick another goal, and then I said, look, VCFL need to get the next one. Another throw-up.
Yeah, the umpire's bringing the ball back. Interesting with that quick kick down there. As soon as the player kicked it, the umpire said it wasn't 15, play on. By the time the wind took it, I reckon it almost had gone 15.
Don't preempt. Don't preempt, is that what you're saying?
Maybe. In the end, the VCFL player who took the mark kicked the goal, so it didn't do any damage. Off the back of the square, it's the Ammo's looking to go forward through Simpson. Gets a hand pass off to Phibbs, inside 50. Defensive player diving to the deck has taken the mark in the last line for the VCFL.
Benny Cosgrave, that was good work from him.
Goes to the outer side of the ground. Mark's taken it, takes on his player. Good searing kick up to the wing. Fantastic kick.
Haven't seen a lot of Leslie.
Leslie did well, and he's got a player all alone here, and he's found him. Great work. He's going to have a shot.
He goes off. Jeez, he backs himself.
He's got to kick it now, Walker.
Terrific.
And he has. Walker, he did. He backs himself. Took on the player, man on the mark, and he's kicked his second goal.
Use the umpire as a shepherd, I think, Joe.
VCFL coming with a run here in this third term.
You need something like that sometimes, don't you, Ken? Just to break the game open. Yeah. We saw moments ago when the VCFL got their last goal, he did kick the ball out of bounds on the full, but he was able to break his way through, and on that occasion, they should have been wary of Walker, because he ran around on the mark with consummate ease and kicked a fairly easy goal.
Look, Moses, again, looking more dangerous on that far side of the ground with a long kick, where this side it has to be short, directly into the bruise.
And the VAFA looking a little less dangerous with Hetter again off the field having a break. So the VCFL win the centre clearance, so they go long inside their 50. It's a free kick though, and it's going to Daniel Cooper.
Landed with his knees in his back. That was one of the most obvious free kicks of the game.
So Cooper goes short. It's a wonky looking kick. He's really making his teammates work here. Beaumont is going to have to beat a couple. Drops the footy.
Got one high. That was well done by the umpire. He's about 40 metres away, but he saw the high tackle.
Had a clear line of sight. Beaumont was pretty lucky that hand went over the shoulder. So he'll take the kick on the half-back flank on the broadcast side of the Junction Oval. So the VFA lead got out to more than 20 points. Now back to just 5. Mark there almost to Hanley. He can't hang on. And we'll have a throw in. True wing position. Gone almost 19 minutes in this third quarter, brought to you by Pep Science Heidelberg. The game once again has tightened right up, as has been the habit in each of these quarters. Seesawing context, and at this point just seesawing back to the VCFL. Quick kick out of the pack there. Boss can't take the mark. Numbers with the VCFL. Buckland going very hard on hands and knees with Boss. Toe to toe, just a little bit of niggle. Congratulated by his 3 teammates for his endeavours.
He won't give it up, will he, Voss?
So we'll have a throw up here, just inching towards the VFA goal. Sullivan wins the tap decisively. With a quick kick around the body is Simpson. Simpson goes inside 50, and it's a fantastic mark. Man playing in front, and it was that man, Matthew Hanley.
He's a big unit, isn't he?
Very hard to move. That's the importance. Even on a day like today when the wind is a little fluky, and it's still rewarded on that occasion for playing in front.
Left goalpost, son. Left goalpost.
Now he's had a shot pretty much from the same position already this term.
He hasn't thrown the grass up this time, so he's obviously going
to. He knows where it's going to go, so he started the last one, the left behind post, and it did work back. So he just
pick someone out in Fitzroy.
Just needs to play at the left goalpost. Oh, he started it there. It's working back. Just sneaks through. It's a goal.
Almost went too far.
Almost did, didn't it? So that's an important goal there for the VAFA side. Just relieves a bit of the pressure. And they're moved to 12-13. The VCFL 11 forward. We've gone just over 20 minutes in this third quarter. Brought to you by Pep Science Heidelberg.
Well, we've seen 2 or 3 goals kicked from that tricky pocket that we've been talking about. So obviously the players have finally worked it out. It was interesting to note during the week, one of the players from the VCFL did say that this game lifts 2 or 3 cogs, and the pressure has been telling on both sides.
So it's a 15-point lead to the Ammos, but the VCFL have taken it from the ruck and look to go forward. Good contest there inside 50. Players going hard. Irving could have been taken high. The umpire said he was taken without it. Either way, he's got the free kick, and the man on the mark will be standing at about 50.
He's just an impact player, Irving. Wherever he goes, he seems to find the footy.
He's done well. He's had 2 goals already. Goes inside 50. Mark couldn't be taken, diving to the ground.
Get it back again.
He has. Decides to hands off. A left foot snap, but it's through for 1 behind for the VCFL. So reduces the margin to 14 points. Pep Science Heidelberg in this third quarter.
That net would have to be 25 feet higher. You never look at the size of it. It's huge. There'd be no ball that you can kick over that.
So the VFA bring it back in. They go short to Beaumont in the back pocket. Not a lot moving for him. Going to have to go to McIntyre. 2-on-1. Oh, he does very well, the big man from Melbourne High School. Takes the mark. Handballs off to a running Tawney. He has a dash. Couple of bounces. Goes on the right foot, but it's a very ordinary kick. Hunter takes the mark. Wastes no time. Centers the ball. Looking for 3. Hit 3 teammates there, and he picked out the one-man Cooper. Goes inside, attacking 50 now. Can't take the mark. McLaren, perhaps being held. No free kick. Umpire says play on. Jordan buzzing around there. Numbers prevail. Comes out there. Can he get a handball? That gets it to Locock. Locock on the left boot across the body. Won't quite carry to the goal square. Oh, he gets it back to Hanley on the left, but he's missed. Well, they had 3 or 4 cracks at it there, the VFA, and unfortunately they ended up with a net total of a behind to Hanley. So he now has 1 goal 4 for this afternoon, and the lead.
There he is again.
Not paid.
It was kicked. VCFL kicked it out. Hanley
well done, Edwards.
Didn't hold it long enough, so the VCFL threw Buckland on the look to come away. Just a hand pass off to Edwards. They go along the wing. Didn't quite have to carry. Talented well to get up and just put a hand on it. Good tackling though. Means the ball's in dispute again. Bumbling in the direction of the VCFL's goal, which is the City Road end here at Junction Oval. Very near the boundary line.
Good work then from both sides.
Yeah, terrific work from Luke Walker, was the guy who followed up on 4 or 5 separate occasions then and forced the boundary throwing. If he had given up at any stage then, the VFA were out and they would have been right back inside 50.
So the ball thrown back in, Couch enters up, but he gets the hand pass back, but only as far as Tawney. Goes along the wing. We got the old 1-2 with the Ammos, taking a bounce and setting off. Inside 50, it's going to go overhead of McLaren, into the lap of Voss, turns one way then the other, on the left, tries to bend it round.
Oh, that was the Shane Warne leg break that cost him.
3-4-1 behind.
It bounced in the square, so it was very, very close, but unlucky at the same time.
3 goals, 3 for Brett Voss today, takes the margin to 16 points for Templestowe Television.
So Guy Campbell, the big man, umpire gives him the hurry up, calls play on now, so he's going to have to kick it long.
The guys off the bench again are out here.
So goes long. Good mark there in front of Ben Cosgrove. Had a couple of touches this term. Oh, that's a just very, very ordinary kick though. Looking for Brad Miller. Beaumont did well, made the spoil. Goes at it again. Still going at it hard. Weighted numbers prevails. The VCFL, no, it doesn't. Free kick conceded. Hanging on to Beaumont. He goes inboard, finds Neville, almost in the centre of the ground. He marks, plays on straight away with a left foot kick across the ground. So they're about 80 metres out from goal here. The VAFA go wide for a teammate, perhaps hands in the back. Hanley certainly played for it. Ball flips over the back. McLaren does well, keeps the ball in, but just coughs it up. No, it may have just gone out of bounds.
Just dragged over.
Just have a boundary throw in. Perhaps a touch fortuitous there for the VFA because the VCFL had the numbers and were away. So we'll have a throw in. Bucks go at it. No clear winner from the tap. The roving there, Kirby. It's not a very effective handball. Ferraro goes up the line there, very close to the boundary line. And we'll have another throw in about 35 metres from the Amateurs goal.
Did Josh Vick do that deliberately then? Was that a deliberate miscue handball to get it over the line? Might have been. Smart footy.
So thrown back in, punched off the pack. Players dive on a ball in dispute. The umpire will bring it in. After scores were tied at 52 at half-time, the Amateurs have built a 16-point lead. 25 minutes into this third term, brought to you by Pep Science in Heidelberg. An inside attacking 50 for the Amateurs. But off the back of the pack, it's the VCFL. Through numbers who'll look to clear. They've got some hand passes through Campbell. Going to go backwards to go forwards. Wormburner pass. It's going to hit the deck before it reaches the player. Does well Smith to get the hands off. It's back in dispute. Possibly a turnover. Inside 50 it is. It's Voss on the right. He's kicked it, has he? He has. Voss doesn't need any time or space. He's knocked through his fourth. Leading goal kicker out there and jumps out the lead to 22 points late into this third quarter.
Well, look, you know, in a situation like we just saw to the build-up of that goal, it was just persistence by the VAFA side. They were out of position several times. They looked to be second to the ball, but just kept thumping away at it. And the end result was that I think they consumed a goal out of nothing there.
The VCFL just struggling to clear the ball from the fence on 3 or 4 separate occasions, and it's really starting to hurt them. They're butchering the ball in the back half.
So Brett Foss been terrific this afternoon. As with all good players, always looks like he's got so much time with the ball, and as it was on that occasion, he just looked like he had a couple more seconds than every other player on the ground. So ball still now in dispute on the win. There was no clear winner from the ruck, and a big pack of players spawned. A little bit of niggle again. We'll have another throw up.
But Header just throwing himself in, the big man.
He's not afraid to throw his body around, Header. It's been fantastic. Back on the ground. Can't quite win the tap on that occasion. It falls down here to Vic. Vic on the right foot drives the ball inside 50 for the VCFL. Cook just nudged under it. Numbers here with the VAFA. And they clear it from defence. Goes out wide. Finds Beaumont. So Beaumont goes inboard to Neville. Neville by hand to Tawney. Tawney by hand again, comes out to Neville. Chain of handballs, Neville does very well, sidesteps a teammate, goes forward, so about 75 metres out from goal now. Attacking kick inside 50, McLaren flies, can't take the mark. Who's down? Jordan with the crumbs, can't pick it up, loses his footing.
Well done, Campbell.
Campbell does well, cool, calm and collected under pressure, and the VCFL clear to halfback.
So the halfback on the outer side of the ground, able to take a breath here and park it forward, and a good mark, a one-handed grab taken by Philo on the outer side. Kirby, sorry, the big man in Kirby, stuck the mid out and latched onto it. They're making their way along the wing, 2 kicks and they still have it in possession. Been the favoured side for attacking that outer side ground, the punt road end. A little more deliberate setup, but it's a good spoil at the back by the Amateurs. They'll again be able to go forward. Sizes the kick up, has Jordan. Jordan decides to take off, kick it up very high. McLaren's going to have to fly. Ball carries over the pack. Campbell at the back. Good speed for the big man. Chats out in front to himself. Gets a break on. Buckland provides the shepherd. Campbell's able to go along the wing, but he hasn't reached his target, and playing in front, Tawney's taking the diving mark.
Tawney's been terrific this afternoon.
Probably been one of their better players on the ground for the VAFA and playing in front again, and it looks like the VAFA is starting to get on top.
They have the lead by 22 points late in this third term. Tawney puts them into attack. Talon's got the ball, tries to get hands off. That was well done, went hard out, it was Hillier. They've still got it, but not really going far, and finally it's turned over. And through Ferraro, he'll kick it to the outer side of the ground, to the leading player, has time and space.
So Walker goes backwards, back to Ferraro. Ferraro goes up the wing, good mark by Leslie, who's about 75 metres out from goal. Turns and goes very quickly.
Free kick
player quite take the mark.
His head chopped off, he'll get the free.
And he does.
Right up against the boundary line.
Probably too far out to score. Plays on, goes right to the top of the square. In the goal square, couldn't quite get to Kirby. He was by himself. The ball just didn't quite travel far enough. To the VFA on the rebound. Comes out to Ainley. He goes by hand. In some traffic out Hillier, and he's gone. He had plenty of opportunities to get rid of that footy. He's going to get a free kick. No advantage the umpire pays.
Kirby's still on his own.
So O'Keefe, and I think they're trying to go spearing past. Can't quite get there. Numbers here with the VAFA. Comes out to McGettigan. Goes out for the left. Neville just needs to turn around. But in doing so falls over. Does well though. Gets up. Releases Chorney with the handball. He has one bounce through the middle of the ground. Has another, and he perhaps could have run all the way to the goal. But the siren beats him. That quarter going just over 30 minutes for Pep Science Heidelberg. And at 3/4 time, it's the VAFA 13-15 to the VCFL 11-5-71. So a decisive lead here, perhaps match-winning lead. We'll have a chat about it when we get back. It's the VAFA by 19 points, 3/4 time.
The ball's in the centre. Chris Venus is going to take it away.
So as we made note, the VCFL, they're throwing all their dice in. They're probably the best 4 players in the ground in the middle. Buckley does the ruck, comes out here to the skipper. He goes a couple of handballs out, and they're going forward for VCFL. Great kick into the leading player. They're moving the ball quickly here, play on at all costs. Comes to Dave Clark, pops it into the top of the square, but can't take a mark. And the mark is indeed taken by Tawney for the VFA. Goes by hand, interesting option. Hetter goes wide, can't find a player. Alistair Neville's there to assist some support. Poor clearance though from defence, goes straight to the VCFL. They've got the numbers, but Alistair Neville, just the class showing out there. Literally picked his pocket, comes up with the footy, and they've moved the ball all the way to the wing. And here's Neville again. He's got it, drives the ball in, almost inside 50. Hanley takes the mark. Now it's a nice open attacking 50 here. McLaren's going to be the target. He goes, not a great kick, dropping back in the hole. Is that man, Brett Voss?
Beautiful, Red.
He just read the ball much better than every other player on the ground, dropped into the space and has taken the mark and will kick for goal only about 35 metres out directly in front.
Well, he's done that all day, hasn't he? Right from the very first quarter. His reading of the flight of the ball with wind has been fantastic.
And well done by Alistair Neville. He's on that same wing as well. He's stayed on the far side wing.
Great person.
So Voss comes in,
Shocker.
and he's actually just pushed it across the face of goal. So Brett Voss now 4 goals, 4 for the afternoon. Straight, he really could have had a day out. As it is, he's had a very good afternoon. So the VFA get the first score of the 4th and final quarter. They go to 13-16-94. Lead the VCFL 11-5-71.
So the VCFL kicking in from the City Road end decide to just go straight down the middle. Hands in the back. A free kick will be given it to Hayden Hetter.
That's the presence of Hetter though. When he gets in front, people get a little concerned.
Bloody real estate agents.
Called Campbell for hands in the back. Gets it off to Beaumont. Inside 50. Mark's been taken. It was perhaps a little lucky, but it's fallen into the hands of Hillier.
If anyone could ever perfect the mongrel kick in the forward line, they'd be on at least 400 million a year.
It's hard to defend a mongrel kick, isn't it?
It is, and it was a shocker. It only went about 35 metres, but it paid off.
So Hillier has a shot to put the first one on the board for the Amos in the last term. Not too bad off the boot. The goal umpire doesn't move at all. That one is straight through. Hillier has his first for the afternoon, and perhaps a little bit of a settler for the Amos coming in to the last term with the lead. They lead 14-16-94 to VCFL 11-5-71 from dinner at 8 scoreboard.
Dan, you mentioned at the beginning of each quarter that the AFA have got a way to a flyer each time. I think you're right. I mean, the countryside have been very slow to hit their straps in each quarter.
Yeah, which is disappointing because they've really had their chances in this game, and now they trail by almost 5 goals. They really need the next 2 or 3 if they're any sort of chance of winning this.
So the margin's 29 points. Getting the takeaway though is Buckland. He's been very good this afternoon. Pumps the ball inside 50. Big fly there from Daniel Leslie. He can't take the mark. Numbers though is with the VAFA on the outer wing, driving the ball up, looking for Jordan, doesn't quite get that far, and it's a strong mark by the VCFL. Again, play on at all costs, looks to be the mantra, drives the ball back inside 50, but perhaps didn't look before he kicked it. Oh, dropped the mark he should have taken for the VAFA, and the resulting kick is a goal for the VCFL.
No, touched off the boot.
Touched off the boot, okay, went straight through. Should have taken
Miller, I think, has broken his ankle.
Andrew.
He's coming straight off the ground. Amongst all that, the ball's been kicked back in and then been kicked out on the full. So it is the amateurs through Neville who'll have it. But as soon as Miller hit the deck, he called for the trainers, and certainly that right leg, something awry. He wasn't happy with it. Knew he couldn't get to his feet, so he's been given the old fireman limp by the trainers to get off the ground. Meanwhile, the ball's been brought in to the outer side of the ground by the amateurs. An old one through to bring it along the wing. It's pumped high. Campbell could take that mark. Didn't in the end, but butters up well. Picks it up. Hand passes just before he's tackled. Ammo's going hard through Fib. Should be able to take it away. Hand pass misses the mark. Players dive in. The umpires let it go.
High, Joe, come on. Where's the umpires going for the VCFL just to keep it tight?
So on the outer side of the ground, the punt road end here at the punt road side, I should say, at Junction Oval. Tapped down. The amateurs will go inside 50 once more. Going to have to be a fly-by Hellier. No, it's Handley on the lead. He does well.
He's got strong hands, Big Matthew. Strong man.
That's the loss of putting Campbell in the ruck, is that he cannot run with Handley because he's not in the back half, and he's hurt him there. He had a free run at that, free rein at the footy, and just leapt into it beautifully. There's not much that can stop that.
So he's got 1-4 and perhaps one out of bounds and another one that didn't make the distance. It's on its way now. It's not going to have the carry either. McLaren flies. Voss was there as well, but it's punched away and over the boundary line.
Terrific work from the defence for the VCFL. They've forced it. But, they really need to get something from this throwing. Hopefully switch it to the far side of the ground, get a quick goal, and get themselves back into this contest, because at the moment they are out on their feet.
I think they've really they're running a bit ragged with their fast play on game, particularly with the handball and breaking away from the packs almost constantly throughout the afternoon.
So the VCFL try and clear from defence, but only get as far as Beaumont. Just taking the mark. He's about on the boundary line, probably about 70 or 80 metres out from goal. So he pops it up just inside 50. Big run at it. His boss, he couldn't take the mark. Ball spills down to the VCFL, not clean with their hands. Irving ducks the head. Great tackle by Irving. But he ducks the head and it was rewarded for going in half the footy. Really slow and ginger to get up. Chain of handballs comes to O'Keefe. O'Keefe does a pirouette. 360 goes back to the defensive goal square. Oh, geez, the VCFL, they had to think a couple of times there. Thought their way out of trouble with a kick, and they find Buckland. Defensive halfback flank. Releases a teammate. Kicks the ball long up to the half-forward flank, but it's not a great kick. Tawney couldn't complete the mark, comes down to Hetter.
Oh, look at them on the far side.
They're lining up. It's not a good kick.
The only one that was in the other colours.
Absolutely. Ricky Sullivan goes out wide, finds Hunter, so he plays on immediately on his right boot. Sends the ball long, looking for Kirby. Kirby on the goal line. Good defensive tussle, goes across his shoulder, and he's kicked it. Great effort by the big man, used his body exceptionally well, and he kicks his first for the afternoon. The VCFL now goes at 13-15. They still trail the VAFA 14-16-100.
Well, they've taken Kirby out of the centre, and as we mentioned at the start of the quarter, they've thrown Guy Campbell from Rochester in the Golden Valley League into the centre of the ground, which has meant that Paul Kirby, also from the Golden Valley League from Tatura, has been able to go into the forward half and basically play out of the goal square one-on-one against his opponent, and paid off on that occasion.
He's got a significant height advantage over Paul Winchell too.
And weight advantage.
Yeah, if you look at the stats there, he certainly does. A good mark taken going back to the fight. That was a low cop for the Ammos. Quick kick inside 50. Handy was there, McLaren. Can he get the second bite? No. Butters up though on the left, bends it round the body. It's going to be touched or marked in the goal square.
That's either a mark or a goal.
Yeah, it can't be both.
Yeah, I think the field umpire's onto it. He stayed in the field of play, so.
This should be a goal.
Did it go over?
This should be a goal.
I think the player almost gave up the ghost. It looked like when the ball was coming down, his intensity dropped.
So it's going to be just a mark, so no score added. A little conference there between the umpires.
Mid-wicket conference.
They worked it out, and the score remains 14-16, 100 the Ammos to 13-5, 83 the VCFL. The dinner at 8 scoreboard.
So they've done well here, the VCFL. They moved the ball more to the centre, and just as I say that, they popped it up, kicked it straight to Alison Neville with a great tackle by Dave Clark, just holds him up. Ball spills free, comes out to the VCFL on the lead.
There's Kirby.
Good mark. This is Daniel Leslie.
It's a Kirby, son. Let's get it in deep.
Sporadic. Have to think might fancy himself here. Perhaps the harder side of the ground to kick a goal. And he'll be kicking the best part of 52 or 53 metres.
You better kick this now.
Kirby is on the goal line if it does fall short. So Leslie, from about 52 metres, hits it sweetly. It's certainly going to have the distance, but he's just pushed it across the face of goal. And just the one behind. They close the margin by 1, just by 1 point.
Maybe Ovens and Murray don't kick it to goal as well.
Just had the scoreboard adjusted, I think, here. So we've got 12-6-78 now to 14-16-100.
So the amateurs look to bring it in through Neville. They're on the outer side of the ground. He's been good today, Neville. That outer wing, but it's bumbled over in front of Ross. Out of bounds.
They've dropped their bundle a little bit in the VAFA. They were clean at the start of this quarter. Now the VCFL have started to pot up the intensity. The VAFA have just fallen away in their skill execution.
Still plenty of time to go in the match. Only 7 minutes gone the last quarter for McDonald's Family Restaurants. As the country you go forward, and it was Kirby and Wintle battling out back there. Wintle won out in the end. It was just rushed through for the one behind.
And it's 19 kilos.
19 kilo difference.
He did well on that occasion though. Wintle managed just to sort of flick the ball over the back. So the VAFA bring it back straight up the middle of the ground. Neville can't quite take the mark. Ball's there to the VCFL going one way then the other. Get a quick kick out of the pack. And then to Wintle. Sweeping handball though, releases some pressure. Goes out to Cooper. Cooper goes long, looking for Voss. Can he get there? Not quite. The boundary line beats.
Again, just a bit of luck going against them, the VAFA. They had numbers on the outer wing. The ball bounces on its point, goes to the boundary, and it's almost a restart from 2 or 3 moments ago. A throw-in from a very, very similar position.
Ball's thrown in. Decisively won by the amateurs. On the tap. Can't quite get the takeaway, and it's going to go to the country. Going back there, the skipper was involved, Edwards. Going to go inside 50. This is a chain of handballs. They're hanging onto the ball well, though. Quite over possessing it. Waiting. The kick inside 50. It's not quite. Ainley going hard. Irving did very well. Hit the ground, got straight back up, goes to Kirby. Playing in front. Good effort there by Bowen. Wrapped up by about 3 VCFL guys. Can the ball still free to Kirby in the goal square? No, it doesn't. It comes out. And it's taken by Tawney, who goes up the wing and just finds a teammate inside the boundary line.
Very close to the boundary line, but they've made it out there, worked their way across. Brad Miller on the boundary has his foot in ice, so he won't return for the VCFL.
What, not broken? Well, that's the way it looked originally.
They've turned the ball over though, the amateurs. The VCFL with a bit of a run will go forward. Has spare players, but a shocking kick inside 50. Give the Ammos a chance to clear, and this time they bang it up the middle. Got a free player if he can mark it. He does. It's Ainley. Ainley looks to play on. Going short. Yes, the mark has been taken. Managed to hold it long enough. That was Jordan. Gets hands off. Neville gets it back again and tries to bend it around the body. Didn't work as he wanted, but it's ended up in his teammate's hands, who kicks high in the air. Defender flew high and was able to punch it away, but roving off the pack. Is it going to dribble through? It is. Was it Hellier?
Just watching Brett Voss. Yeah, he's still on the ground here.
Trying to find out who just was whose slot through the Ammos 15th. Their score is 15-16-106, leading the VCFL 12-8. 80 for the dinner at 8 scoreboard.
Was it Brett Voss? So Brett Voss kicked the goal.
No, he was on the ground.
The trainers just run.
So ball back in the middle. We will get onto that. Back in the middle is McIntyre doing the ruck loop. VCFL, though, have been winning the clearances this quarter. They do so again on this occasion. Go inside 50. Just
I'll watch that.
yeah.
I think it's McLaren. Is it McLaren in the long sleeves and kick the goal?
No, it's the bloke who's in the hit in front of him.
As Ken and Dan have a little conference, just try and work out who.
That's Voss.
No, it wasn't Voss. It was another player who's got strapped on his shoulder, but we'll get there.
So we'll have a throw in here. Get inside attacking 50 for the VCFL.
Where am I? What day?
Sunday, Ken. I know it's a bit unusual. We usually call these games on a Saturday.
It's 1989, Ken.
So, free kick here to the Ammos. Relieve a bit of pressure.
It was Hellier who kicked that last one.
There we go. We've been concerned. Go with your gut, Joe. Go with your gut. So, Tawney, been terrific this afternoon. Just as I say, that is a little handball that's smothered. Goes in again, though. Does very well.
And Kirby just telling him what he thought about it.
Yeah, just throwing his body weight around.
As soon as Header comes back onto the ground, which he will in just a moment, I think it will be the VAFA closing this game out.
The ball thrown back, attacking side of the wing for the VCFL. Edwards goes hard, but wrapped up by two VFA opponents. We'll have another bounce. That's 60 metres out from the VCF goal. They lead this afternoon. Been a good contest. Ordinance are up by the umpire. The ball followed him as he ran backwards.
Almost put himself under a bit of
He
pressure,
almost did, didn't he? He had a couple of big boys running at him. He had to speed up the backwards running. Just go a little faster than usual. No one could get the takeaway though.
It's a tough thing to throw the ball in the air if you're a real estate agent.
This one was perfect. Smack, bang, brilliant. Comes out of attack. O'Keefe, he's dispossessed. Ball spills free. Going in there very hard is James Beaumont. He can't take it. Irving done well. Gets the handball. Bouncing ball goes this way, then that. Campbell gets a quick kick out of the pack. Inside 50 numbers with the VAFA though. And a relieving mark taken there in defence.
So Groves gets the kick off. Bumps as he kicks it, so it didn't find its way to Header. Campbell will get it off the deck. Gets the hand pass out to Clark. Clark on the outer side of the ground finds a teammate who'll want to come inboard. Kick inside 50. It's a spearing pass. Mark couldn't be taken, but the free kick's been paid.
Over the shoulder for sure.
There's your side, Ken. That's where they attack from.
Hands in the back. Is it going to be Herdman down there?
Yep, the boy from Eagle Hawk.
It's Herdman who's going to have a chance to kick his second.
He should kick this, and if he does, it's sort of back in the contest.
Cuts the margin, 12 minutes gone. Dolan's Family Restaurants in the last term. Slots it over very easily, so has his second. The amateurs are 15-16, 106. Still leading the VCFL 13-8, 86. It's a 20-point margin on the dinner at 8 scoreboard.
Well, yesterday in the VFL, the Battle of the Bridges, they call it, Ocean Grove taking on Bowen Heads. Bowen Heads trailed by 33 points at three-quarter time, and the game finished up being a draw. So all hope is not lost for the VCFL. The margin is certainly gettable. They need to get the next goal though, and they need to keep rolling forward.
Well, there's plenty of time. We've gone 14 minutes in this fourth quarter brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurant. So there's time if they're good enough. And Irving getting the takeaway, goes on the left foot, finds Hunter, the vice captain, stops props, goes by hand, finds a teammate, arches his back, keeps running, kicks the ball to the top of the square, running back with the flight. He's Wintle. Oh, that's a terrific mark.
Right.
Courage personified. No fear for his own personal safety, and he takes the mark. And the VAFA take possession in the back half.
So McIntyre got it to a teammate, and they've made it along the wing. Hunter couldn't take the mark, was trying to chop it off. Ball still in dispute. Looking to come away with it, the amateurs, with a quick kick forward. But it's gone into the seats over there, and there's a few people dotted on the outer side of the ground, but the sun is still shining.
It looks as though Kirby's moved back into the ruck and Campbell's gone down into defence, so they've gone back to the way they started.
Well, I thought it was going to be a turner, and it still could as the mark's being dropped. Hanley gets back to tackle, but he's given away the free kick.
Got away with it.
Not particularly subtle, the big man Hanley, is he? He's a bit like a sledgehammer going when he goes to tackle.
VCFL were lucky there as they look to switch play.
A sledgehammer through glass.
Another shot to kick going forward. It's going to hit the players on the bounce. Wintle leads back in the race. The boundary line might beat him, and it does. Wintle's been good in defence.
He's only slight. Geez, when Kirby was against him, it was actually 20 kilos, not 19. I apologise.
He's got a good leap on him.
Sure, he won't mind that 1 kilo. I'm not sure if he would have felt, to be honest.
So Header wins the ruck, gets the tap down, field send, runs away a short chip pass. Well done. The Ammos take a moment looking to clear from defence.
Great kick
Come
off.
down in front of us. So the wind's taken it. Hellier couldn't get onto it. Ends up with Beaumont. Short again for Voss. Oh, well done. Sensational mark. Right off the blades of the grass. Just plucked it in. Looking for McLaren. Not going to quite get there. Jumping up quickly. It was Ferraro who's done well. He got the hands off to Cook. Sorry, Walker. Through the centre now, VCFL launch another attack inside 50. The ball's come to the back. This should be a certain goal.
It is.
It is. The VCFL have another.
Don't you hate it when lazy forwards get goals? His defender charged out at it, who probably 25
It was Alistair Neville in the uncustomary role at full back.
Who was it who kicked that goal for me, guys?
Near testing this. So I know Herbert was further up the ground. It wasn't Leslie.
Right, was it Rob Ferraro?
No, I think it was McLaren, Joe McLaren, who was playing the spare man in defence at the start of the game, and now he's kicking goals out of the goal square, and Alistair Neville being forced to play as his opposite number in the defensive goal square.
Well, that could very much well be a directive from Peter Nice to drag Neville back as far as possible. So back in the middle, Header has a couple of cracks at it. No stop, clear winner from the tap. Stacks on the middle and we'll have another throw up.
And well done by Walker in that last play, where he normally tends to dash away, but he did use his teammates, so it was good footy.
So the margin only 14 points here for the VFA. Still plenty of time, 16 minutes gone in this fourth quarter, brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurant. So free kicks here goes to Irving for the VCFL. So they'll have another attacking foray. It's been terrific this afternoon with the ponytail early. Irving goes on the right foot, looking, can't for a teammate, can't quite get it. Leslie tracking the ball back right near the boundary line and trickles out of bounds.
Well, that kick probably went 75 metres to the boundary line over the back of the pack. Leslie had his chance, but the boundary line will do the VCFL because they've been very, very good from stoppages, as Michael McFarlane from St Albans down in the Geelong Footy League moves himself into the ruck.
He goes with a big right fist, doesn't quite connect fully. Perhaps free kick there to Simpson, not paid, and it's a quick kick off the ground. Was it Irving?
It
It was Irving. He's kicked it off the ground, and they're now within 8 points.
I think he might have gathered it and just jammed it.
Jammed it on the boat, all in the one motion. So he's kicked his third goal for this afternoon, and the VCFL now go to 15-8, and the VAFA are 15-16. So it's just an 8-point ball game here.
Who's your winner, Ken?
He's going to keep watching, and we're going to find out here.
Throw the cards up in the air.
They'd be a bit stiff to give it away at this point.
Speaking to Dean Anderson, the coach of the VAFA, yesterday, VAFA footy show, he said all his matches he's coached for the red side have been within a goal, so could this be another one? It's in the centre, ball still in dispute. The umpire says play on. Edwards really diving to the deck, but they finally come away with it through O'Keefe. Gets the hands off. You can hear the crowd getting into it now for the country.
He's had a go.
Philo's had a go. He's kicked the goal. Brody Philo from nowhere. The VCFL are coming strongly in this last term. 18 and a half minutes gone from McDonald's Family Restaurants. The dinner at 8 scoreboard reads the VAFA 15-16, 106 to the VCFL 16-8. 104.
And what about Joe McLaren leading out from the goal square? As we said, he had been the spare man in defence, now working out of the goal square. He was 10 metres in front of his man, Alistair Neville, and as soon as the kick went over his head, he put his hands out and said, son, this better go through. He put the hands out, he wasn't happy, it was very much a Richo.
Well, the young man stood up and he counted Brody Philo, the youngest man on the ground at only 19, the only teenager out there, and he's kicked the goal that has put the VCFL within 2 points. From the takeaway in the middle, the VFA win it, but a relieving mark taken at centre half back by Buckland. He goes short. They've got the free players here everywhere. Here we go. This is O'Keefe. Has a bounce, runs past the wing, drives the ball inside at Sankey 45, just pushed under it. Paul Wintle did well. He nudged his opponent underneath it, and the ball trickles out of bounds. We'll have a throw in, 40 metres out from the VCFL goal.
And Brody Philo.
The momentum up country.
Brody Philo actually played with his father, who's 41 years of age, in a premiership, I believe, last year.
Fantastic effort. Obviously a famous footballing family, Philo. Just fell over there, Jordan, at the crucial time. Quick kick goes Brady Herdman right to the top of the square. Almost takes the mark. Irving's down, a couple of players. Can they do it? Numbers just prevail. Cool, calm heads there at the back. And who is it? But none other than Brett Moss. Goes with a handball. Didn't quite do much there. Wintle. Change of handball. Beaumont goes back. For a teammate here, but oh geez, Ben Phipps was very happy to see the boundary line.
Didn't want to go near it.
And we'll have a throw in about 55 metres out from the VCFL goal.
This execution, a couple of those hand passes.
Under pressure,
got the ambulance ready again, I hope.
So the Fitzroy Street end of Junction over the end, VCFL are kicking. They trail by 2 points. There can't be much time left. And they'll look to go into attack again through Walker. But the kick is poor and it's been marked on the last line by McIntyre. So I imagine the Emmos will want to slow it down a little bit. 20 minutes gone. McGettigan, sorry. McDonald's Family Restaurants. Kicks to the outer side. It'll be a contest. Strong in front.
important possessions.
That was very strong in front. Might have been Groves out there. Poor kick though. Could be a turnover here. Yes, the VCFL get the hands off, win it. Sloppy kick going forward. Looks like this is on the non-preferred. They're going forward at all costs. Bounce past two defenders. It's hard to watch. Irving's got it. Holds on to it. Tackled strongly and brought to the deck.
Paul Wintle wrapped him up there almost as soon as he got his hands on it.
Irving has set the side alight in this quarter. He's been good all day.
He's an impact player though, isn't he? He has his impact in bursts and he's been terrific. 30
metres from the VCFL goal. The Ammos. Oh, the umpire was going to play a free kick, then didn't. Irving's diving in there too. Let it go on, and the ball hardly moved.
He's always there, Irving, and we look at the setup across the ground at the moment. It's pretty much one-on-one all across the paddock. Probably throw a blanket over 16 players, 30 out from the VCFL goal.
So it's thrown off. VCFL have numbers here if they can collect it. Can't. Quick kick from the packs. Come out. It's going to carry over the line. It is, and it's going to be out of bounds.
Walker again on that left boot. It's let him down 2 or 3 times.
Perhaps a little waste ball. I'm sure what he was trying to do was just to put it to the top of the square, but actually didn't quite work out like that.
2-point margin here at Junction over the Ammos lead by.
That being said, out on the full is probably a better result in this situation than a point, because it means really the only choice the VAFA have gone is to kick it up the wing, and they've gone tried to hug the boundary line too tight, and they've kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Well, nothing's changed since the first quarter, is it? Nothing's changed.
We knew that was going to happen.
So the free kick's going to Philo. Brody Philo kicked the goal that got them within 2 points. He's done the team thing. Top of the square. Can there be a mark? Almost. Very, very close. Ball just comes out to the VAFA. Can they clear it? Very close to the boundary line. Oh, 50-50 ball. Won by Charlie Town. Shrugged off his early injury. Kicks the ball up the wind looking for Jordan. Jordan niggling his opponent. Does well. Picks the footy up. Can he get the handball away? He can. Can't quite find a teammate though. Makes him work very hard. They're tracking back Jordan. Does well. He's working extremely hard. Goes inside 50. Looking for Hanley, but Campbell takes the relieving mark in the back line.
And he takes off, knowing there's not much time left.
Well done by Buckland. Good shepherd.
Gets the hand pass up to Ferraro. He'll look inboard. Mark's been taken. They are going to have to just get it and go, and they do. The VCFL. It's kicked up high. Pack will form.
Held up.
Could have been held. The umpire says yes. They decide to go away with this.
That'll do.
Low. Not too great. Wintle. God, you can hear the crowd getting into it in front of us. The Yellow's trying to hold on. The umpire says play on. Wintle has it. Tries to get the hand pass. Goes back in again. Ball in dispute. About 8 players dive on it. And the umpire says, give it to me. 23 minutes gone. The last term McDonald's Family Restaurants.
Blood rule.
The Ammos lead by 2 points.
Just have a slight delay here.
Jordan. A bit of blood coming from the scone.
Good umpiring there, I think. There were probably a couple of little half free kicks that perhaps could have played, but he just let it go on.
He hasn't gone to the interchange game. Well, that's interesting. Hang on. He hasn't gone through the interchange gate, Andrew Lowcock.
He came back.
There was Ben Jordan.
Well, Ben Jordan came off the ground, but Lowcock didn't go through the gate.
It's right in front of the umpire. 30 metres out from goal, Fitzroy Street end. Player could have been held, and it was. The Ammos earned the free kick. They lead by 2 points, just hanging on. It's Tommy Simpson in defence.
So this is a crucial kick. This is where they've fallen down a couple of times trying to take the ball out of defence.
Call to go.
Hasn't got a lot to kick though, so literally just pops it up. Only goes about 25 metres in the end. No mark, numbers down all with the VCFL. Can they pick it up?
In the back.
Oh, just can't quite pick it up. He's kept it in front of him. Quick kick out of the pack was O'Keefe. Goes with the right boot, partially smothered, and the ball will just trickle out of bounds. Again, quite happy to see it go. So we'll have a throw in.
How long left? We wonder.
Only about 30 or so metres out from goal.
You're going to say 30 or so seconds.
No. Only 2 points the difference. The Amateurs lead.
The fans actually just all smashed their radios.
Out of the mark, out of the kick, the ruck contest, Kirby. Quick kick to the top of the square, but the ball just bounces, and we'll have another throw in from the opposite forward pocket.
What do you do here, kid? What's the plan? Clear it out?
I don't know. I'm looking across at the time there. Give me no signal.
Minute and a half to go.
Minute and a half to go on the clock, so ball thrown in. This takeaway absolutely crucial, but it's Simpson who's got it. He's been fantastic this afternoon. Goes short. Oh, strong mark to Tawney on the half-back flank. The feeling they might just slow up play here. The runner will be out there saying there's not a lot of time to go. Tawny goes very short. Oh, it's a good mark. Made him earn it too.
Probably not a smart option because it wastes a bit of time. He's going very, very slowly, probably ticking under about 70 seconds remaining now.
So the VAFA, they're just going to bang the ball up the wing. Huge pack a minute. Into the last minute, we've just heard from the timekeepers. Heads over the ball. Neville's in there. So we'll have a throw up just a sacking side of the wing.
The clock does stop the ball up.
Gone 26 minutes, just turned it under a minute to go. The VCFL need to win this clearance, and they do. Can they take the ball? Edwards by hand finds a teammate. They attack up the middle of the ground. Leslie, can he take the mark? No. Terrific defending by Cooper. No, he did push him in the back. So the clock ticks.
And 50 crown too high. Come on, umpire.
And
go long, son. That's
Leslie goes with the right foot. Can there be a mark?
Fantastic mark. But he couldn't get any better than this, could you?
Set himself for the contest.
Fantastic match.
And it's number 13, Dave Clark. He's kicked 1 goal, 1 this afternoon. One feels this could be the last kick of the match. If not, there'll be very little time left.
Ringing the siren would be good for the theatre, wouldn't it?
So he crosses the 50. Coming into the man on the mark. Kicks through the footy. The siren goes. And it's kicked it. The VCFL have won by 4 points with a goal right on the siren. The VAFA led by as much as 29 points in that final quarter, but the VCFL have come from the clouds with the final goals in the game to win an historic representative football match here. The final score is finished. The VCFL 17-8, 110. To the VAFA 15-16, 106. And it's Dave Clark, number 13 for the VCFL, who has won the game for his side. Cora Rutherglen in the Ovens and Murray League. And it's not too often you kick a goal to win the game on the siren.
Well, I was a little bit disappointed, I've got to say. They should have rung the siren 5 seconds earlier. No, it was a fantastic finish to the game. It was terrific work. Well done by Dan Leslie to earn himself the free kick. And as we said, or as someone said during the call, make yourself a hero. Someone had to make themselves a hero. It happened to be Dave Clark. He just managed to work his way into the right position. He was probably still caught behind, but he had a nice jump at the footy. Took a beautiful mark, and then had to go back and kick the goal. The mark was the hard part, maybe the kick was the easier.
Yeah.
But still with that wind coming over his left shoulder.
Yeah, it wasn't the easiest shot until 35 minutes out, and they had their biggest bloke, Roger McIntyre, standing the mark just in case he got a little bit too close to the man on the mark. But he's kicked the goal and has won the game for the VCFL. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, and on this occasion it was Dave Clark. Terrific game of footy though here.
The conclusion of an epic representative game. Again, the amateurs on the wrong end of it. But what a sensational game and what a great effort by the country guys to win the game. I'd now like to introduce to you the President of the Victorian Amateur Football Association, Nick Burke, who will present the Brian Maloney Cup to the captain and the coach of the winning team.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think once again what we've seen is a fantastic game of football. Twice in a row that the result has been decided after the final siren. Unfortunately not in the favour of the amateurs, but you put up a great effort, boys. And to the country, a magnificent fight back. I think it all goes well for these games going forward, that they're close and hard fought and fair, and you all get together afterwards and have a drink and enjoy it. I'd now like to call the coach of the country team, Peter Knights, up here, and the captain, Joe McLaren, to accept the Brian Maloney Trophy. Thank you. Jared Edwards, sorry. Take that. Sorry, Jared.
Look, firstly, to Dean, coaching staff and all the players, well played. I mean, we pissed it in the end. Congratulate you on the way in which you played the game. I mean, you really showed our boys at times just how footy can be played. So well done. Congratulate all the amateur boys for such a fantastic game of footy. To our guys, we spoke at three-quarter time about still being in it, that we need to dig deep and really find a little bit. And to the credit of our boys, they did just that. I just want to thank all of our support team, coaches, support staff, but especially the players that made an unbelievable commitment over the last 6 weeks in sacrificing so much and getting to training, making all those miles. I really appreciate, we appreciate the sacrifices that you've made. So well done, boys. Great reward, well deserved. Congratulations again. We'd like to present the David Coe Medal for the best VCFL player that goes to Luke Walker. And he played a fantastic game right from the first bounce. Our best player from the amateurs, Captain Brett Boss. Well played, Bossy. Thank you, Peter. I'd like now to call on Dean Anderson and also Frosty Fuller.
Slow to get up. I'm just recovering from that last few minutes, Pete. But congratulations on a very solid win, and this footy from the couple of years I've been involved with it, it certainly does bring enormous effort out of players, and I just think because it's such a rare opportunity for players, and when they actually get the chance to do it, we do see some great football. And for players from the country today, and for players from our side, from the amateurs, I just congratulate you all across the board. And I think the people here today just saw a fantastic spectacle of footy. So congratulations to everybody there involved. Okay. So if I just call forward Frosty Fuller, one of our amateur legends here, to present the award to our best amateur player for today. It was a player who was put under enormous pressure with an injury to one of our other key players early in the game, and he ran out the game beautifully, and the award goes to Tom Simpson. And the amateur best for the country team goes to Chris Irving. Thank you to everybody involved. I hope you had a great day, and particularly thanks to the amateur people that have supported us through this program. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dino. And thank you everyone for coming. I remind everyone the post-match is on in the Morton Pavilion over here immediately. And congratulations all on a great day.